What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Juices Loose podcast, number 134. For anybody that was going to watch this live, if you're waiting, we had a few delays. I had to put some blankets up. I took a wall down, and my furnace is right next to my. Now it's like right next to my computer. So anyway, sorry for the late start. Everyone's here, and let's just get into it. So let's just go right to Robert, because you went to PAX East, and
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you were going to be back in time, but you are. So just a quick, how did it compare to other things you've been to? And then the main thing I want to talk about is your first time with the Switch on the go in a traveling situation, and just wanted to get your thoughts on the system now that you've experienced it that way. So start off with just PAX East, how it went, and what you thought of it, and then take it away.
Okay, so PAX East was a ton of fun. I only got to go one day. It would have been awesome if I could go, all three. But that'd be for, E3, that big, 3-day event. But I did get to go for the day on Saturday, and it was a ton of fun. I should have expected a ton of people, and of course there was a ton of people. It's not nearly as big as New York Comic Con, but basically you walk in, it's just all games. It's overwhelming because there's so many games to pick from and to what to play. And then you're saying, oh, I'm going to try that. And then you go and they're like, yeah, sure, this is a 2.5-hour line. And it's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, you know what? I only got one day. I don't think I should do that. And so, I did not play. I want to play Splatoon 2 so badly. And then when I went, the line just to play any Nintendo game except for Zelda was 3 hours. And it was madness. It was easily the longest line there. So there's definitely hype in, the Nintendo Switch lines. And, I was like, I could have played ARMS and all stuff. It's like, no, you couldn't play any of that, man. 3 hours, you're not gonna. And it's like, all right, fine. But I did play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because they had it on the other side, and that was just kind of like a pick up and play. Here, just play it. There wasn't really a line necessarily. So I did get to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, which, we already played at the Switch event, Rob. Remember?
I sure do.
Yep, and and
No, he
and
forgot
so,
by now.
Wait, what's a Mario Kart?
we technically played ARMS and all that, but I wanted to play it again, just to play it again. And but so with Splatoon 2, I was like, well, we do have in a couple of weeks the global test fire anyway, and that's a much more suitable way to play Splatoon at your home for like 6 hours. That's a lot better. And then after that, I did play a bunch of the indie games that are coming out, like Flipping Death. I cannot wait for it. Flipping Death is going to be awesome. Snake Pass. I got to play Snake Pass. And let me just say, I played it on both the Xbox One and Switch. No noticeable differences for sure. I saw that PC in the back. I was like, oh, my God. I was like, wait a minute. Wow, it's tough to control the snake. I was very confused on how to control the snake. I'll say that. Wait till you guys try them out. It's so weird how to control the snake. It's not the usual thing you would think. It's tough. It's definitely like a physics-based platformer in a way. You really gotta try to control him, angle him well, while you have to wrap around, the any kind of logs that are around. You really want to wrap around them. It's not easy. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely not easy. And there's a lot of well-hidden orbs that you have to collect because I only had 4 left, but I didn't want to keep people waiting behind me. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll put down. And there was probably, I want to say 20 orbs in one level. So it was there was a lot of orbs and there was a lot of collecting, but it wasn't a long line either because they had 3 stations for the Switch, 3 stations for PS4 and Xbox One and PC. So they had plenty, and we got to send these big ass beanies. It was not beanies. Are they beanies? But bags, those things on the bottom of, the seats, the very cushiony seats. They felt so great, especially after walking a ton. And then there was a bunch of other indie games that I didn't know some of the names of, but they all look really damn fun to play, but it's just man, it's so overwhelming. I have a limited amount of time. Which ones do I play? And Goner. That's I got to play Goner. That's so cool. If you don't remember, Goner's that one where it's that art style that it's so weird how to describe it because it's like a hand drawn art style, and
I'll
but
just
then
look it up.
every time he walks, it creates more platforms almost, and then like it's very cool because you could take like an axe and stuff and just start slicing up people, and it's got that one's one of the Switch indie game ones, and that was a really cool.
Is that how do they spell that?
Goner, I think it's
Goner.
yeah, I would think it'd be Gonner. I think.
Yeah, I think I seen one with 2 N's. I just wanted to see if that's it.
Yeah, and that was very I'm definitely excited for that because just got my hands on. I didn't know a lot what to do, but every time you get hit, your body parts fall off. And
Oh, I'm seeing.
eventually-
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
It's very cool. Like, it's very fun, and like basically, you'll be running with only your under half of your body, so only your legs. You're just running, and
That sounds funny. You're like, You're like,
because I don't even
Oh,
know how to describe that. It's
Looks like a shooter too, like a 2D.
It is amazing.
I haven't even heard of this.
It's a very.
It was
cool-
in that indie showcase. There's like a giant whale, it's like in just solid colors almost. It's very. I'm looking at the video on Steam right now, and it looks really cool. So, but so how was taking your Switch on the go? Your first experience as a portable system? How was that?
It was awesome because I go to, I'm going to the airport. I'm tired as hell. Oh my God, I'm dying. And what happens is, I'm sitting down. I took my Sheikah Slate case, from the special edition
Mhm.
of Zelda. And so I open it up and I see the Switch inside and I take it out. And I'm like, oh my God. It's so amazing.
yeah, like this is the
We
first
don't,
time
yeah, we don't need to play by play. Just
Yeah, just
I press the power button, then I press the A button.
get tackled by the NSA is what we want to know.
So no, yeah. Well, what happened was I was able to, I just put my bag, 'cause inside my bag I had also a power brick, and just in case, because I knew I was going to play more than like 3 hours of Zelda, and so I put the power brick, and I had my phone, Switch, and a couple of cables for charging for both my phone and the Switch, and it went by easy. No, they didn't stop me like, hey, what are you holding, a Switch? Give me that. They didn't say any of that, and it was super awesome because I'm sitting down waiting for the flight, and I take out a full console Zelda on the go, and it was just so awesome because I'm telling, because my stepdad also has a Switch, so we're both playing our Switches, and I'm like, I still can't believe that I'm playing my console Zelda right now. Like, it's so cool that this is finally out, because the best part about this, and that's what I've been saying, that because it's a handheld console hybrid, not only do we get one software lineup of games, but I know when I get home, I can continue playing the same game, the same save file, everything on the TV, which is my preferred way to play, And I will say that the 3DS I always thought was such a small screen. Man, it's just so much better. The size of the screen for me, for the Switch, is way better than the 3DS ever was, and I think it already destroys the 3DS in terms
I don't even want to turn on my 3DS.
Yeah.
I have
haven't turned that
no
bitch on in a
desire.
while.
Yeah, I have no desire to, because like this is what I've been saying. Like, the Switch is what I've wanted, and so when and on the plane, and here's something cool. How I know T, you kept saying this, that word of mouth is the best. Just the Switch advertises it itself,
Mm-hmm.
And on the plane on the way back, I take out the Switch, and then this one guy's passing by. He's like, "Oh, is that the new Switch?" And then it's like, "How is it?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, it's amazing. He's just definitely getting." He's like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy it. I definitely think I'm gonna buy it." And like, it just simple things like that. Where like, "Oh, is that this? What is that? Oh, what is that?" And that really will help probably in the long run.
Well, I took it.
It's the best commercial of all times.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I took it to work. I've taken it out of the house twice, and I'm showing off Zelda and stuff. And my supervisor, he hasn't played games other than some racing games over the years, and he's like, "Oh, is that new Switch?" He's like, "Yeah, those controllers slide right on, don't they?" I slid mine. Oh, that's bad. He goes, "That's badass." This dude's in his 50s, doesn't know anything about gaming, and he knew the controllers slid right on.
He was telling
And
you
he's like-
what was going on.
Yeah, he's like, "That's badass." So I put on fast RMX, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "Jesus, that's sweet." And then I was showing somebody else, and they knew it was the Wii U. I felt weird just trying to say I had a Wii. Like I had Nintendo's new HD console. Like that, I just changed the wording because I learned that people would react negative when I said Wii U.
Oh,
Like,
all the time people are negative. They're like, Wii
well, they
U's
just
trash.
or they didn't know what it was. They just didn't know what it is.
Yeah.
I got really sick of people confusing the Wii U with the Wii. That would happen
Mhm.
all the time.
So anybody out like that?
Yeah, I
was
want to tell my on the go.
Okay,
I
go
had an
ahead.
on the go weekend myself, and mine's gonna be different because as a married man, you know, you hang out with married couples, and like
That's adorable.
it's so much fun. I had to demo. I had to demo. Well, I didn't have to, but I remember demoing the Wii U for everybody. And in this situation, they actually came to my house because there's no way I was lugging the Wii U around.
Mhm.
So I demoed that, and people, you can tell, like they thought it was cool, but they didn't really get the idea of it. Like like the with the gamepad and all that stuff, they thought that kind of stuff was cool, but it didn't really click. Like so, this weekend we hung out with some friends, and I took my Switch obviously because I wanted do all the versatile things that the Switch allows you to do.
Mhm.
Pull the thing out, and oh man, that's that new Nintendo thing, right? Where you slide the controller, same thing, and you can like play on the TV, and it's the same game, and like. They threw the commercial at me. Like they knew exactly what to do. And I start, because, sometimes we pull out a handheld, you don't expect the visuals and stuff, the visual fidelity.
Oh, yeah. Everyone was also like, oh, my God, that looks way better than
Yeah, like I put on Fast RMX. It's the best showcase, obviously, outside of Zelda, with the, the visuals and stuff. So he was like, oh, man, the graphics are that good on that thing? He was like really surprised by that. He was like, I definitely got to get one of those. Just like,
nice.
Good luck finding them right now.
Yeah.
And then so like I pull it out, I pop it on the table, and I slide out one controller from the Joy-Con and one for and I had one to his son, my friend's son, and we both started playing snipper clips. And he was like, "What?" He was amazed by it. Like way different reaction to the Wii U that I got from the Wii U when I demoed that to people, and it's just you just don't believe it. Like I can't believe we're here because. When you first got a home console, or the first time, I think the Game Gear was that console was like, oh man, it's gonna be like playing Sega Genesis on the go.
Yeah,
not really, but
we believed it though.
We believed it, and then the batteries died every 5 minutes. And
all 90 AA batteries that it took.
It like not quite there, but I think I've always wanted that. I never really thought about it that much, but I always wanted to like. Be able to play like console games like wherever, and we finally have that, and people get it, and that's why like the Switch is like it's going to be bigger than I think we even realized. So that's my story.
I mean, I showed a girl who's into games. She got a PS4, just kind of split, and with her fiance, and she's got a kid, so she don't have a lot of money, but she was so envious when I told her I had it. So she come out and look, and she's like, wow, it looks that good. And it was Zelda. And the problem with Zelda is when like the fog comes in or it's the wrong time of, like it doesn't pop. Like if the sun's out or if it's like a clear night. And I'm like, yeah, it looks way better than this when the right setting hits. And she's like, oh, it looks great right now. And so that was impressive. But the thing, and I didn't even plan on talking about this, but I think it's a good thing you brought that up, is a lot of people know about it. The problem is there's none around, like there's none left in stores. So Nintendo's missing an opportunity, and maybe for them it was better to not risk and manufacture as many as like the Wii U and stuff. But at some point, I feel like most people that really wanted one got one, but then there's that second wave of people that are now getting kind of excited about it. That like I shared a picture with you guys. And literally the whole, it had one copy of Bomberman, 2 copies of Zelda, 3 copies of 1-2 Switch, 2 copies of Just Dance. And that was it. That was the entire, this whole
I'm sure there's no
casing.
accessories either, man. You can't find
Okay, so you figured about that. You can't even find like a third-party carrying case.
It's the worst. That's part of the reason I haven't taken my Switch anywhere, because I don't have a case to put it in. It's driving me crazy. I've been on Amazon. I've been hunting Amazon.
I just got my screen protector for it. Today.
I ordered. No, my screen protector's still getting delivered. It's ridiculous.
Dude, I got my Hori one on launch day, and then when I was putting it on, it hit one of my little bit of my thumb on the underside, and
Got a fingerprint
so
on it.
smudge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it went on good. And then I heard about they melt off if you leave it on. So I ordered another one, and I got that on Sunday. So I got my backup just in case. And
Damn.
What did you get? Did you get tempered glass?
I just got the standard Hori one, the basic one. And
tempered glass is the best way to go.
I got tempered glass on my tablet, and I can't what do you call it? The sensitivity or whatever. It only registers about half the time.
Yeah, you want to be careful with that. I think that's what my iPhone case has, and I run into that
too
problem.
thick.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'll try this one for $10, and it went on awesome. It looks great. But anyway, let's getting back to just the stock thing. Like, do you guys? I feel like everybody I know in the community here, and then the one person I knew that wanted one, Steel Fox, who I know in real life, like lives in my town. He got his, but other than that, I don't know. Beyond, I haven't heard of anybody that really wanted one that didn't get one yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like,
I mean, it's unlike some of my videos and stuff. Maybe you guys have seen this. Like, some people will just randomly talk about, I wish I could find one. Like, I still can't find one.
You still see some.
That's the most I see.
If you go on Twitter, like on Nintendo stuff, on the bottom, you see, if I could get one.
You don't see like videos where like, oh man, I need one, I want one. You don't see a bunch of people like, I think it's more like stragglers, That,
kind of like Juice. You brought up like the second wave people, and I think that what's happening is all us first wavers are getting all the second wavers excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because we're like, this is amazing, and like Robert and T, you guys are like actually taking your Switches out, and people have seen them and gotten excited about it. So those are the second wavers who are like, hey, maybe I should buy one of those. Oh, I can't. So I think that keeps happening.
And
though.
If the Pro Controller, I wonder how many Pro Controllers they manufactured, because those are sold out.
They made so much money on those, man. I'm sure.
I made a killing on those Pro Controllers.
That overpriced controller,
which overpriced, but something everyone was gonna buy anyway.
It's a great controller, and
it's pretty good. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I'm hearing an echo. Anybody else hearing an echo?
I have been, yeah.
I heard it for a second.
It's not me this time.
I do. Now I don't hear it, but I
don't hear it. As soon as I said, I didn't hear it. But
motherfuckers lying out here. I see what's going on.
So I just hope it's not it's not like where people can't, like, they're missing out and maybe they're just gonna give up because they can't find one, or maybe it's. I don't feel like it's at the Wii level, like of that first couple weeks when people are like, holy shit, you can't find one,
Yeah.
So I don't. Well, I guess we'll have to see.
We haven't gotten there yet.
The Wii
give it
lasted
some more
for
time.
2 years, though. Yeah, the Wii lasted for a long time.
Yeah, and it lasted like 2 years.
But
I was working in retail, and I remember people trying to find Wiis and forget about it.
But the word, I think at this point, with like 10 days in, I think in my memory, it's telling me the word was out already that the Wii was something to get. It was sought after, and it was hard to find.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's true.
But again, it's still sold out. We'll see. We just got to see how the second, third, fourth, fifth wave months, how it looks, the future. And then if those sell out and those sell out, then it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think if the next batch, like this next shipment, sells out right away, then maybe the buzz will start building. But it's one of those things. Like I said, Nintendo went overboard with the Wii U and got burned, but maybe they went a little under. But again, it's a March release. I don't know how much they really expect.
Yeah, it's kind of uncharted territory, at least for the last decade and a half.
This is very new.
And we can talk about this a little bit more in depth maybe later. If we don't have time tonight, maybe next week is. It seems like obviously the OS could have used a little more time in the oven. Some stuff, features and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe their plan was just to get kind of a soft launch, which Nintendo kind of came up with that idea like a month and a half ago. Like this kind of feels like a soft launch. Like, let's get it out and let's get everything built up for it for like the holiday season, and then go.
Yeah, they might almost be like internally sort of thinking of the holiday as like when they actually intend to make it the full push. Like, now the complete thing is out and available.
Yeah, think about it. Like, because that really makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Oh, you think about it, March. Nobody's ever launched a home console at that time, and then it's for myriad of factors, people paying attention or holidays and all that stuff. But obviously us hardcore guys, we're going to get that thing, right? And so we get it, and we're on buses and trains, and it's, people are seeing it and like, oh, cool. What is that? So while all this buildup is happening, they're working on that stuff. And then, you get, like you said, that second tier of people who want one, to come in, and then you hit them with these solid titles throughout the year, and then the big kind of relaunch, if you will, with Mario Odyssey.
With Mario,
I mean, that is just, to me, that's genius. I don't know if that was the plan. I don't know if it was just rushed and they're lucking out. It just seems too perfect to me.
What it means is that all of us are Nintendo's guinea pigs.
Right, we're the guinea pigs.
We're part of their science experiment to start getting the Switch out into people's eyes.
Exactly.
All right, so that's kind of a good point. I wanted to get Terrell in on this because the whole report that the Wi-Fi glitch or whatever that's running or using the CPU more than it should.
Yeah.
I know you kind of. I had heard about it, but I didn't really think about it because I got the the USB Ethernet adapter. I don't run Wi-Fi except in portable. So I haven't seen the pause. During Zelda, I haven't seen like where the screen where it literally comes to a complete halt for a split second type stuff.
Yeah.
So did you test it out, or were you running Wi-Fi before?
Well, yeah. Let me explain. For me, it was happening infrequently. Like, I wouldn't call it occasional enough to where it was like I was seeing it every time I turned on the system, but it happens primarily for me in fights. Like I would use like a claymore or something and hit a goblin with it, and it would freeze for a second. And it only happened when I got into fights. And the thing about my Wi-Fi setup is that I use the LAN adapter too, but I also have it automatically connect to my Wi-Fi. So as soon as I take it off the portable, I don't have to reconnect it to the Wi-Fi. It automatically just does it.
And where's that setting at? I looked for that. I could not find it.
It's under internet. It's under internet settings. When you click whether you're doing a wired connection or a Wi-Fi connection, click like your wireless, and under that, the settings for it is there's an auto connect setting. So
because mine, just real quick, last week I was talking about how it automatically went wired, and then when we were on the podcast, I was trying to do something and I had no connection, and I had to reset the Wi-Fi, and so I see my connection, and then I see manual setup. I don't see anything that says.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna make me pull up. I stopped playing Zelda for the sake of the podcast.
Yeah, so I don't see it.
You're gonna make me pull it out again because when I put my tempered glass on, I went into the settings to change it, and I was testing it a few minutes ago while I was playing, and I didn't notice any issues. But granted, that was only like maybe 15 minutes of playing. So
has anybody else seen I've seen a video of it where it like pretty much just comes to a halt for a split second. Like, I have not experienced that in my 60 hours.
No, I haven't experienced.
I've only heard people mentioning other people having it. Like, I haven't seen a video about it. I obviously haven't seen it myself. So
it's a whole bunch of Nintendo hater propaganda. That's all it is.
It probably is. No,
I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I haven't had.
No, I'm just having fun with it. Come on, man.
See, and I've only seen like frame rate stutters in Zelda, but I haven't seen this. Maybe sounds like something different than I thought, where it like freezes for a sec. I have not.
Yeah,
seen
it like
that.
completely freezes.
I've seen frame rate when like there's dynamic weather happening.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Grass or in the you're in the.
Oh yeah, the game shit's.
Yeah, but that's
I've seen it like where it drops. Where now that I know watching Digital Foundry, it drops down to 20. It just goes from 30 and it drops down basically to a baseline of 20.
Yeah, for like a second.
But I had a weird parental controls thing on for whatever reason. It was blocking my Wi-Fi settings. I just entered my PIN and now I see the options.
Because I've heard about some of the other Wi-Fi issues where people just couldn't get the Switch to connect to the Wi-Fi. Period.
See, a lot of these problems I don't have because of my setup. Like I mean, I sit 2 feet in front of the TV with the Switch or whatever. So
yeah,
I don't when my desk is set up, so I don't have the issues. Like I tested it though, and it definitely gets wonky. The left Joy-Con thing, like, it does do that, but I'm like in the next room and like with it behind my back to make it. So I don't know who plays video games that way.
To connect? You've had that problem with your left Joy-Con?
No, it connects, but it does it little jumpy kind of
See, I sit about 9 feet away and I put it behind my back and it was flawless on that little.
Yeah. It's just case by case. I'm guessing.
I think it's I'm really looking forward to that day. To that next update.
It could be your environment of your house. Like I don't have really anything else running, like in Bluetooth or anything.
Oh, I have mad stuff running. So
that could. I'm trying to think. I don't have much running on my Wi-Fi. I mean, the only people who use Wi-Fi in my house is my sister and my mom, and it's like an iPad and a phone or in a laptop. So I wouldn't think that much interference would do anything.
Well, let's get back to the Wi-Fi thing because I wanted to ask a question. And I just turned it off. It was set to on, which is kind of convenient when you take it off. I'm gonna set it to off. So here's my question: do you guys think this is just wishful thinking? People are kind of wishing their Switch had a little better performance, and maybe this came out just because of wishful thinking of this new device. They want it to have a simple solution and be something that can be fixed that easily. Or do you think there's any weight to it?
So wait, how do you mean? I'm confused on the question.
I just all of somebody like, oh, it's the Wi-Fi taking your CPU power. That's why we're seeing frame drops. That's why we're seeing this and that.
Oh, that they're just trying to like explain away the problem as something minor, as opposed to like a big problem.
They want it to be just something that can be easily fixed, and it's not. The reality is that this small little device is not going to be as powerful as some people were hoping.
Based on what it sounds like the problem is, the actual straight up freezing that you guys are talking about, I'm sure it's more than just, the system isn't as powerful as we think. If based on what it sounds like you're describing, I can't imagine it's that. So there's probably something weird making it happen. I hope it's that. Otherwise, there's just a huge defect.
Well, the reason why I mentioned, I agree, and it's primarily because the article that mentions this whole fix in the first place, the general basis for them even testing that out and seeing if that was a thing was because they watched Digital Foundry's video on like Fast RMX, and they was like, oh, it's 60 frames per second, and they were like, well, why the hell am I getting frame drops on my game then?
Gotcha.
And the resolution. Well, it started with the Shinin said that once the newest firmware for the Switch comes out, the game will never dip below 1080p in single player. And that's where
it's like a scalable resolution.
Oh, and by the way, this is like a console launch, and this happens all the time.
Yeah,
like this is like nothing egregious or new. I mean, this is what happens because a lot of times games are being ported; they're not made ground up on these consoles. I mean, especially like Zelda. Like, I would not believe that if they had put or Zelda Breath of the Wild had been a ground up game on the Switch, you have none of these problems. Like it wasn't optimized for this console, so it's not.
And neither technically was fast, by the way.
Right, neither was fast. I was going to say neither was fast because it was a port from the Wii U. So, Wii U is very different hardware, very different architecture. So this is going to happen on the launch. Now, if Super Mario Odyssey comes out and it's running at 10 frames a second, then we can talk about how this thing is.
That's totally. I was going to say the same
Arms,
thing.
I think Arms is ground up on the Switch as far as I know.
Arms better run really well as well. And that'll be like, by the time Arms comes out, it'll be like 3-ish or so months after the Switch launched. Because that's the thing is like you're saying, T, like there are a lot of people I think who just like don't care that this happens with system launches, and they're just like, it's a problem because it's a problem. But it does happen with system launches. However, I think that it's fair to expect that a couple of months down the road, at some point, these things do need to be fixed. And if they're not, then it actually is an issue. And it's like, whoa, how could you guys not be prepared? Like you said, by the time Mario comes out, for sure. But it should be even probably before that.
Well, I mean, Mario Kart 8's already at 1080p.
I was going to say Mario Kart 8 is already at 1060. So,
and I mean, for people who've seen Arms in person, man, there was no performance issues with like 40 things playing Arms all next to each other. There was no issues with that game. So I can't imagine the final version's going to have issues that didn't have. Yeah, so I think that even that'll be good.
I hope that it, that is a genuine issue. I mean, Shinin seemed pretty confident about it. But then again, some CPU draw, that's not going to fix the overall frame. Like, go to Korok forest. I don't think that's going to all of a sudden make that run at 30, but it could be the issue for that, because if it's happening during physics or AI enemies on screen, that's where CPU draw happens.
Or the weather, like T said, and stuff like that.
Because the GPU really is what handles just overall frame rate.
Yeah, because I think Zelda will forever have those frame rate issues, and I don't think
it has the same ones on Wii U. I mean, it's
yeah.
I wonder if the Switch version at 720p would have been locked, or if like they had whatever in the engine code in it, they just couldn't get away from it and said, I'm curious to find out.
Well, I legit think that the Switch version wasn't optimized like almost at all. I think they literally just kind of ported it over.
That just seems crazy, though. Like, it's their biggest, hottest thing, and it's
the reason why I say that is because if I remember right, didn't they say in an interview that they only decided to make a Switch version like
last year,
right before the announcement, March 2015, basically, or 2016? I mean,
yeah. So it hasn't even been a year yet. I think.
Well, but they might have decided it 6 months beforehand, and it would have taken a while.
Well, Anuma said that the announcement came this spring 2016 that hey, we're going to make a Switch version.
Yeah.
Like as they decided it, you think?
That's according to him. That's when it was. That's when the decision came, and then in April they did that announcement. So I think it happened right before then, so and that makes sense why it wasn't at E3 on the Switch too.
Yeah,
would have been time
because it only been a few months since they started Switch development.
Oh, and they ported this massive ass game from the Wii U to the Switch in a year.
But that's the reason why I said
like you should be amazed and not.
I would be curious, like by the time the DLC comes out, like in the holiday, like if maybe they got a better handle on it, if something can be addressed then. I mean, we'll have to see. Like I said, I haven't experienced that other than, like I said, just certain areas where you can tell the game drops below 30. But during battles and stuff, because of the way the battle system even works, there's like that pause anyway, like just built into the battle system.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like when you.
I think that's part of the reason why it's susceptible in that particular situation, at least for mine. It was.
Wait, what pause? What do you mean by pause?
Just when you're like doing your attacks, and it's like as the attack strikes, the game.
Your weapon breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's just like a intentional,
like a rhythm. That
yeah.
kind of,
Yep.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
So, it'll be interesting to see. Like, but I wouldn't expect like this. Some people I just have a feeling I know how some people's minds work in this community, like expecting that to make Zelda lock 30 or something. Like I just know that's how people think, and I wouldn't expect that. I would just hope some little minor things here and there can get smoothed out, and it'll be interesting what happens when they add like streaming services and other features, if how that affects everything. So maybe. Like I said, that's kind of we were kind of guinea pigs in a way, but they could have prepared. They could have been working on the Switch for another year and launch. Still had things. Right. You can't predict how the thing's going to or react out in the wild. Like there's no way to just predict every scenario.
It's definitely kind of true, and I think like building off what you were saying to like that whole guinea pig thing. I really probably was to just have it prepared for the holiday, whereas with previous consoles, even Nintendo's, where they do launch in the holiday, in the fall, then it's like the problems are happening over that Christmas shopping period, as opposed to the way they've done it, where now it'll be all fixed. Hopefully, it'll be all fixed and perfect by then.
Yeah,
if they do their job right.
Overboard, when there's some negative Nintendo stuff, and they couldn't risk having that issue during the holiday when they're really pushing the thing to have all these issues. Mm-hmm. We're going to be, like I said, us hardcore guys are going to be the guinea pigs, and we're going to work out these issues. We're going to, mostly be cool, where other people wouldn't be.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
accept
true.
some of these flaws because we're just fans like that. And then so they can use us to work those flaws out. So when when it's really ready to go, then there won't be those issues. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And Phantom asks in the chat here, how hard is Breath of the Wild?
It's pretty hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's tough.
I die a lot, man.
It's as hard as you can avoid enemies and just not face them. But if you want the best art, bow in the game, you kind of have to fight a mighty Lionel.
You kind of have to.
I actually never reversed one of those, so I'm like, nah, I'm good.
And they have different attack patterns.
Me neither. I haven't done it yet either.
You finished the game and you didn't fight a Lionel?
I played even more of the game, and I haven't even one of those dudes.
See, that's why this game is amazing.
And they literally are like by far the tough. Like they make Guardians look like nothing.
I haven't even tried to fight a
because
Guardian yet,
I saw him. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Well, the red ones have,
and just walk away.
the red ones have 2,000 HP. The blue ones have 3,000. I didn't get close enough to the white.
3,000. Oh,
Yeah.
I think the whites are at 4, and boy,
And it's funny because they're not. I've seen people fight them, and they're not that hard.
you just gotta. It's timing.
patience,
It's a lot of
You gotta
time.
do
You
the
got to get
yes.
good at the battle mechanics.
And
I tell you
yeah.
what, man,
I'm not even. I'm not
I'm
afraid.
gonna have to take my Dark Souls skills into that battle, man. That's the only.
Well,
I'm not
now,
afraid
hold
to
on.
fight.
Can't
I
you-
died at least 20 times the first time I faced
Wow.
one.
I
Trying
died
to figure him out, get his pattern down and
Well,
stuff.
the first 3 I died by the arrows because I didn't realize I didn't want to get in close, but you have to.
You can't.
Yeah, you have to.
You can't fight him long range. You're dead.
And I watched somebody do the perfect guard, but that only gives you like a 1 second window with the block him with the shield. He goes back. That gives you like a 2 second window attack. If you have a claymore,
Yeah, you like a two-handed
you
weapon,
missed
you're
that-
screwed.
Yeah,
you
I
missed that, you're
think
dead.
the flurry rush is more effective.
yeah, the
If you-
flurry rush.
Flurry rush is usually the most
Yeah.
effective. In
But
terms
even
of-
still, with that much damage, I mean,
Yeah. You could be flurry rushing and doing perfectly, and one misstep, you're dead.
yep,
for
So
sure.
it also depends on how strong your weapon is, though.
yeah. But we'll get back into Zelda here. I got a few more topics. So we were talking about Fast RMX in that Digital Foundry where they had talked to Shinnon and they claimed, all that. But anyway, just the game impresses. Like, it's obviously proves the Switch is significantly more powerful than the Wii U. And even, whether or not that little thing gets fixed where it's just constant 1080p, like it had like 2 minor little frame dips, like down to like 58 or something at 2 points, single player and split screen. And just it's hard to, on a YouTube video and stuff, and seeing they like stopped the vehicles and showed you some of the differences, but just it wasn't even 720p on the Wii U. It was like 640. It was forget exactly what it was.
You're doing some tricks.
Yeah, and to be full native, plus they added like the rain looks way better, and like the lighting effects. The car vehicles have headlights on dark tracks, and they were really impressed. And kind of Digital Foundry loves to just point out that this thing's like a really powerful handheld more than they like to give it credit as a home console. But just anyone that's played it, I know Rob, you finally I think got around to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just on Supersonic. I got 3 more cups. Like they get pretty hard, even on Supersonic or Subsonic. I mean, other than that, I got through all the cups except for I think the last 2 or 3. So I played it less than an hour according to my Switch time. It says a few minutes I've played it, but it's been at least
You did all that in 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Wow.
at least it's been over. I would say 45 minutes to an hour probably. And I was just playing the Wii U version, and that still plays great. Like it played better than I remembered. And yeah, so Fast RMX, I definitely want to spend more time with it. It's hard to put down Zelda. So Rob, why don't you share your experience with the game so far?
Yeah, I have to say I feel actually really lucky being one of the only people that never played the Wii U version, because this is like a brand new game to me.
Yeah.
So I just treat it like it's a brand new game they created for the Switch. And I know that a lot of the courses, I think, and the vehicles are part of like what the DLC was. So that's pretty cool too. But I love the game so much. I love I do think that like the presentation's really simple, probably too simple, but considering it's like a $20 downloadable game, it's really not a big deal. Presentation is in like the menus and stuff, like just like a flat picture comes up and you just have like 3 options and then you just go, that kind of thing, which really doesn't matter. I love how they really, I know you guys, this is old news for you, but they have like the voice that's like Fast RMX, Pink Falcon, and like the way he says all like names of everything. It's so
that's the guy from F-Zero.
Is it the same guy? Do you know?
Yeah, it's the same voice actor. Yeah.
That is so badass. That makes me just super giddy every time I play it. And yeah, it really is hard, man. You're not kidding. That's like probably the one thing I would say. And I don't know if this is just the way the game handles or if it's just that I'm still not all that good at it. I'm kind of in the same like progression as you, Juice, and that first cup. I think the subsonic or the first kind of difficulty. And I think I have the last 2 or maybe 3 cups to do. And it's like, I definitely bounce off walls a lot. I don't know how common that is.
You got to use the triggers like in conjunction.
I do
every
all
turn.
the time. I do absolutely. I think I might just be really not all that great at the game, which
you
is
got to
fine.
you got to anticipate. You got to learn the tracks and anticipate.
Yeah, you got to learn the tracks. So also memory.
Yeah, that seems to help. Like if I screw up a cup and don't succeed and have to go back, I definitely obviously do better. And you start to learn like where the little speed up junction, the little tracks are that speed you up and stuff. And one thing, and Robert can attest to this because the first time I actually played it was in New York at the Switch thing. And that was when I realized there was that color switching thing. I had no idea that was part of the game.
Yeah, you didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. I got really excited. I think it's
thought it was
mechanic.
like F-Zero where you just get your energy back or something.
Yeah, and then it was like he's like, oh, you press the button to change the color, and I was like, what? That's awesome.
It's not that energy soup.
Yeah, exactly. And I really, really do like that. It gets a little bit tricky, and I don't know if it's because I'm colorblind or if it's just because I'm still new to the game. But like sometimes when I see a color coming up, even if I'm that color, I like instinctively switch because I think I'm supposed to. And then I've like screwed myself. Yeah, I'm switching on the Switch.
Twitch game, man. It makes you do twitchy thing.
Yeah.
Can I give you a pro tip from someone who played the Wii version probably about 10 hours? You got the customized control options. You didn't have that on Wii U. I hit way less many, or however you want to say it. I hit walls less with when I switched there's that word again. I switched the boost from the R button to the B button, and I made the brake R. Because that way I can boost and then use my right lean with the trigger at the same time without having to try to use two fingers. That made a huge difference for me.
It's interesting you say that because what I've done is I've switched the boost with the switch button. So it's normally the X is the switch and the R is your is a phase. Is that what it's called, right? Yeah. And I switched it so that R is your phase. I like the trigger also being the phase, the switching. Okay. And then I use the other thing as the boost.
I ran into the problem trying to switch phase and and make the turns. So I got the phase button X and the boost button B with the gas A, and then I just use the triggers for my turning, and I never have to worry.
Let me ask you guys this, since you all have been playing it for longer too. Do you guys prefer lighter or heavier cars? Because I think I prefer lighter, but
I like a little more acceleration than top speed, but that's just me.
I usually just take speed because I'm like, I think that's better.
I struggle with
I want acceleration because you get out of the race.
Yeah, because the reason acceleration helps is in a game where, at least the way I play, because apparently I suck, every time I bounce off walls, you're slowing down. So you want to be able to restart as fast as you can a lot. So I'm feeling it out still, and I'm not quite sure how I feel yet. But overall, the game's awesome.
I'm absolutely horrible at it.
Really?
So you never played the Wii version either, Fast Racing?
I never did. No, I never did.
I never played the Wii. Was it a WiiWare title?
Yeah, WiiWare title. Yeah, Fast Racing. Because some stuff from that title is in the RMX.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they
did some tracks.
6 tracks, I think.
Yeah, so
I really want to get it though because I like going back and rediscovering that kind of stuff.
I think you can still buy it on the Wii U. Going through that and going to the eShop from there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, or going to the WiiWare from there.
I mean, I know everyone's talked about this, especially leading up to the Fast Racing Neo launch on the Wii U, but man, these guys need to be hired by Nintendo to make some other stuff.
I've been saying that for years.
They got to do a whole bunch of things.
And how they got this game on launch running so well,
and for less than $1 and for $20
with HD Rumble,
and only 6 people
with HD Rumble.
Yeah, somebody asked about the HD Rumble, and I think it's great if you're not playing in the grip because the grip robs about half of the HD Rumble away.
Or playing with it on the actual screen.
I do agree, Rob. When you said that, I really agree. It's too much rumble to be in the portable mode. Just vibrates everything. But the Joy-Con split or the Pro controller, it's impressive.
It's really cool. It really heightens like your senses because you're already playing a game that's so fast and you feel like wind is whipping your face. And then you're bouncing to the left and you're bouncing to the right. And it just is like a fun little addition that feels really cool.
And the best music is on like the ice snow level that has
all the music is so good. I'm glad you brought that up.
But on that one where there's spot where there's like icicles you have to avoid going under like a arch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I could boot the game if I really wanted to look. But that has I think that's the best track. It's musically the best track. It's not my favorite racetrack, but the music's so
There's
good.
one I just did that's like it's like New Kyoto or something, I think is what it's called, something like that. And it's like a city, like a dark city, like at night. And I think it's raining or like got a little bit of rain, and that's probably my favorite. And it's got a lot of straightaways, so you can like really strategically build up your boost and just go really fast through a lot of it. It's super fun.
There's only one thing that would make this game better, and that is a physical cart. That's the only thing I wish. I would happily have paid $40 or more for this freaking game, because I feel like it deserves that. It's so good, and you get a lot less in some games for more. You're paying more, and I'm 100% with you. I've been saying for years, Nintendo should hire Shinin as a second party or whatever, first part, whatever they got to do, because they're so good on. I remember the first Shinin game I played was Iridion 3D, and it wasn't very good of a game, but man, it looked great on it looked so good on the Game Boy Advance. Like
Isn't that like a side-scrolling shooter? Am I right?
No, it's behind the. It's 3D. It's supposed to be 3D. It's like
it's not what I thought it was.
Pixel 3D.
No, it's
Mode 7 like 3D.
Yeah, like Mode 7 kind of.
Oh, I love me some Mode 7.
It looks really good. Like, and I knew then that Shinin knew how to tap some hardware, because they.
Here's what I'll say. Playing this game and thinking about Shinin and thinking about Fast, like, I mean, I could make this connection with anything just because like I'm a total dork this way, but I really feel like these guys could and should work on Metroid. Because playing this game in a way that doesn't make sense to probably anybody, I get like a weird Metroid vibe just because of the futuristic sleekness and like the crazy like ambient music and all the particle effects and the rain. It's like it's like a futuristic sci-fi thing, which is what Metroid is. So my brain made this connection of like it feels like it's a Metroid universe thing, even though it's nothing like it. And so I just think Shinin could do really awesome, beautiful things with Metroid on the Switch. So it'd be really great.
That would be cool, but I hope they bring over Jet Rocket at least.
Yes.
Jet Rocket is so good, so underrated game. I think it did pretty well.
What was that?
I'm sure they made a sequel.
They made a Wii title. Yeah, they made a sequel for 3DS. I never bought that one. I need to get that.
I'm gonna look that up.
The Wii version.
Is that the one with the little? Is that the one with the character like that?
It's like a little jetpack guy. I actually have a video somewhere. One of my videos, I think.
Is it like an animal character, or am I thinking wrong?
No, it's a little guy. I can't remember what video I have. I have gameplay of it, like a whole.
Dude, I never heard of it.
Long
Jet Rocket.
Yeah, Jet Rocket for the Wii. It was a WiiWare title, like Fast Racing was. And again, visually, they know how to tap hardware. Like, I never thought the Wii could pull off graphics that clean, that good, and they look really good even on the Wii.
Man,
both of those games.
Yeah.
So
of course, the video's only in 3D.
And obviously, it's a 3D platformer with puzzle elements.
I was gonna say I don't know about them coding a full 3D game. But...
Oh no, it's a 3D platformer, and it is gorgeous.
Yeah, especially on the Wii.
Wow.
Yeah, for the Wii. So.
Whoa, look at that. Yeah. Okay.
This looks like really impressive. How did it play though?
It played great. Control perfect.
Yeah. It looks better than Ratchet and Clank on the PS4. Yeah. Gameplay wise, it looks like really Mario Galaxy engine.
I love that.
Well, that's why I bought it. That's why I bought it. I was like, oh my god, it's Mario Galaxy spin-off.
Yeah.
Man, why do games like this not get enough coverage, man? How did we?
What's this wave racing looking track?
What's that?
Oh, it was just I thought it was like a wave race setup, but it was just the environment.
No, it's just the environment. Yeah.
But they have fast. Awesome. What was it? Fast League, Fast Racing League.
Fast Racing League. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I've seen Red Knight post. He had before Fast Racing Neo. He had a lot of gameplay clips. But yeah, I mean, Shinin, they got a new game in the works. They just announced they got something new.
Yeah. So hopefully it's Jet Rocket, a sequel or something. That would be
Jet
great.
Rocket 3.
I'm excited to see what they do next. I mean, they did state. They kind of hinted at the Wii U development took them longer than they expected. Because Fast took like 3 years, Fast Racing, hopefully the Switch won't. And they build all their game engines, like they don't use anybody else's. So
that's incredible.
It's gonna be curious. So just real quick before we move on, anybody out there just listening, you guys has anybody turned on their Wii U and since they got the Switch?
Mine's in a box.
Okay. Because
Oh,
You just done
box?
buried your Wii U, Terrell.
I heard.
It's funny because I gotta turn it back on again because I left Smash in there.
Yeah, you better. And I saw that. Who is it? Way Forward. They said that they finally got the update for Shantae for the Wii U for hard, or what is it? Hard mode. or something.
Hard mode.
Oh man,
I'm looking forward to trying that. So I turned on the system just to let you know, because I knew the update had been downloaded. So I was like looking just at the menu of my Wii U, and I'm like, this is what the gamepad looks this bad? Like, are you kidding me? I always thought this thing looked great. So anybody out there listening, if you've been playing on your Switch since it came out on the in portable mode and stuff, turn on your Wii U gamepad and see if you had the same reaction. I put the brightness all the way up to 5 just to even remotely come close to what I was used to seeing on the Switch already in like my 3 or 4 hours playing it in portable mode. It's just crazy to me how quickly that my eyes got used to the beauty of the Switch's screen. Like it's unbelievable. So I'm gonna play. I might even watch a video of Zelda on the gamepad just to kind of see how it looks. You can watch on YouTube or on the eShop and kind of get an idea of what Zelda would look like on the gamepad for off TV mode. So I was just amazed at how quickly your eyes get used to better stuff. It's like getting a new phone. And if you ever, or a tablet, and then seeing where you came from,
what you used to use, yeah.
Like, whoa, crazy. So yeah, I just challenge anybody. It's got a Wii U, hasn't touched it. Turn it on and tell me what you think of the gamepad's screen resolution and quality.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the challenge. Yeah. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Yeah, and if you want to do it right now and get your reaction, that'd be cool. So
yeah, let me do that. I might as well.
All right, let's talk about the South Park tweet, Terrell. You mentioned it, and let's just give our quick thoughts of what we think it means. If somebody, you or Robert, somebody wants to read this exact.
All right, so I'll read it right here.
Okay.
Yo, goddamn, Robert. All right.
So this is I can't even speak for some reason. This is what the South Park Twitter stated. They say, hold on, this 1, 2.
Come on, man.
All right, here I got it.
I had the tweet up, and he's like,
"Oh, really?
You
had it up." All right. Anyway, he says, "Nin, -10-do. I'm coming. Nin -10-do. Obviously, Nintendo. Hashtag Blizzard 2017. That is a huge hint for means nothing, but
you savage."
But hey, I would love to have the fractured butthole on the Switch.
You want a fractured butthole? What?
I fucking do it. I couldn't do it.
So what do you guys think? What do you think? My thought was that they're just mean there's a blizzard coming. They must be in the blizzard zone, and
they're not in the blizzard zone. They're in my home state of Colorado.
Well, okay, maybe they're tweeting out to the people that maybe will be in the blizzard. Gonna be playing your Switches on your day off from school or something, or playing.
That's
Nintendo.
Pretty random, though.
I think it literally.
There was another blizzard. I don't think there was a tweet from South Park. The previous
yeah, think
one.
about the people all around the world who don't know shit about what's happening.
But that's not true. All you have to do is click your search on Twitter, and the number one is hashtag Blizzard 2017. That's trending.
Well, I'm sure Blizzard 2017. I mean, that's
it's trending like crazy.
That doesn't mean the South Park's tweet. I mean, Blizzard 27 just means the blizzard that's supposed to be hitting.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I don't know.
But they did the Nintendo stuff before then. That's
I do see it. It was the second one that came up in the.
That's what you got.
Game Freak. Oh, that's just because you retweeted it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling
Dreams were crushed. You could hear it.
And there's a GIF. There's a GIF of Cartman buried in snow. I think it's Cartman.
I'm gonna throw my hat and say it probably doesn't mean much because one, you would have hashtagged Nintendo Switch to make it really obvious. Why even say Nintendo in the phrasing and not hashtag Nintendo Switch? Would you hashtag the Blizzard?
Yeah, exactly.
It's because it's more
subtle.
Yeah.
No, they're referencing just their thing.
You get people like us on the podcast talking about it.
Well, that's because we're weak-minded fanboys, all right?
They're just
Well, if they just came out and said blah blah blah, we said it for 5 seconds.
Well, who the fuck don't talk about blah blah blah? We need to know what blah 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 is.
However, I will
Blah,
say,
blah, blah
who
has the blah blah blah? T.
One at a time. One at a time.
The fractured butthole was going to come out last year.
It will come out because it's the fractured butthole.
It was gonna come out in December, and I was excited because Stick of Truth was way surprising to me. I love that game. And what happened was it got delayed, and it was supposed to come out first quarter of this year, and all of a sudden it got delayed to maybe even 2018.
It's gonna be 2018.
So it says before March of 2018. That's pretty specific. It's pretty, which means to me, if Ubisoft was smart, they might as well just port it to Switch.
When has Ubisoft been smart, Robert?
Well, they're bringing Steam to Switch.
They've been smart. They've been smart.
Yeah, they've done good and bad.
All right, squeeze the cat.
To me, it's like, come on, like you might as well bring it to Switch because I'm sure the port for South.
I like how that's a might as well situation. What you
What do you got to lose?
What you got to lose? You already lost money in the last console.
Here's the thing: is I love South Park, especially like Hometown Heroes. I love South Park. I could care less about the games, including this game. I don't even care about it, but
I'm telling you,
I feel like there's something.
I just imagine Rob sitting there going, "It's like, frankly, I just don't give a damn."
I don't, but I think this means something. I bought
Stick of Truth. What, maybe 2.5 years?
Did you play it?
And it's still in the wrap. I have not.
I feel like it's a stick of nine.
But I supported it.
I mean, you have to play it.
I did buy it.
You know why? Because it's baby's first RPG. That's why.
Oh, get out of here, my dude.
360.
That is baby. No, Robert. It is baby's first RPG.
Because, listen.
That doesn't make it a bad game. It's not a bad game, Robert.
Listen. It doesn't matter, my dude. What do you play South Park for?
It doesn't matter what you think.
South Park, like
you're playing it for the humor, my dude, and it's hilarious.
It's a game. You're playing it for the gameplay.
Yeah, but also the actual level design. You go up someone's asshole, dude. That's hilarious.
You think about that in real life. It's not really hilarious. That's
going up someone's asshole.
Let's talk about the tweets Robert shares that he thinks are hilarious. That make no sense.
Oh no!
Wait! Yeah, let's talk about those.
No, let's not. But anyway, I think they're hinting at something.
I'm sorry, Juice. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I think they're hinting at something. I don't know what it is, or I don't care about the game personally, but I think they're hinting at something.
Why would they say? It's gonna sound ridiculous when I say this, but why would they say "I'm coming"? Like, what does that mean?
Because it's probably a line from the episode.
Yeah, it's a reference to the Wii episode.
What is the "I'm coming"? Who says that? Is that
I don't remember that.
I remember Time Child. I don't remember.
Carbon says, "I'm coming, Nintendo," and then falls asleep and gets like.
I need to rewatch the episode.
Okay,
I gotta
rewatch it.
We have to do research.
Go watch South Park, everybody.
I guess it could just be they just remembered that moment in that episode because he was buried in snow.
That's still pretty random. I don't think they would be that random about something.
I guess I'm changing my tune. I'm gonna say that's just in reference because of the blizzard and that.
It could be. I mean,
seeing the gif of him in the blizzard kind of sealed.
I like how Juice just randomly make this transition throughout the conversation.
Well, I didn't know I didn't know that line was from an episode. So
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it at all.
If it is, then that definitely lives some. And it's really hilarious too, like especially if this truly is nothing. It's so ridiculous. We've spent 10 minutes talking about it. But I'm still gonna hope that
we need to stop then before we make.
I totally think they should.
This is the title of the episode.
On Switch, the fractured butthole. Or Switch.
Well, he's saying it right.
Their titles are so clever.
I know, but it's just funny to me.
Yeah, it would be awesome if they brought it to Switch because you know what? It just
I want fractured butthole on my Switch.
Because I think, listen, if the first one was on 360 and all that stuff, it's not obviously a very demanding game, so they could totally bring that to Switch.
I think it would be a smart move to bring it to the Switch. To tell you
and to me, it's like if you delayed it a whole year, you might as well bring it.
You plan into the narrative, Robert. It's not a demanding game. What are you trying to say? The Switch isn't powerful enough to handle.
He's fucking crossed over to the dark side.
Don't fall into their narrative, man.
Give him a
man.
fucking black
Fight the
Sony
power.
hoodie.
Fight the power.
Fallen soldier. Fight the power.
Give him a black Sony hoodie.
So we'll obviously we'll remember this moment in 6 months from now if they
How
announce it for
stupid
the
we all
Switch.
feel.
We'll remember this.
Yeah. And if they
really give a
reference his
shit either way.
tweet, that would be
I'm just kidding.
I'm just, I'm just
I'll,
like,
I'll probably
Fucking
forgot.
savage.
So all right, let's start with the
well,
next.
question: would you purchase it though?
Hell no.
No.
God damn.
I don't watch South Park and I don't love RPGs.
you don't watch South Park? What kind of human being
Yeah,
are you?
South Park's great, man.
It was funny when I graduated high school.
Shade at
I'm
us,
just
man.
saying it's been out for 20.
school juice.
Just like the
Fucking-
Simpsons.
Fucking Grandpa Juice is
Listen.
at it again, folks.
20 years. It's just like the Simpsons. You run out of material. It's just not as good as it used to be for
Not
me.
in terms of games.
Oh no, it's not as good. No, I would never say
No.
that. I would never say the show is as good as it used to be.
Yeah,
Well, hold on, but T, are you?
It kinda
What is it?
wore-
Like, what
I
show?
kinda I got burnt on it like in a couple seasons for me. Like I don't know. I like comedy and stuff, but it's not my number one thing.
There wasn't enough attractive women in the shows.
I don't even
You
need
mean,
attractive
you
women.
mean going up someone's butthole is not?
How's that attractive, Robert?
Damn it, Robert.
I'd rather just see a
Have you
gif.
seen how they're drawn or paper?
I'd rather just see like a funny gif or a meme or something with South Park. To me, that's still funny. But anyway, let's go on to Nintendo released, and Terrell's gonna love this. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe kind of detailed overview video. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Why the fuck would I love it?
Yeah.
I saw
Because
some
what I'm about to
details.
say there, fool.
Oh,
What you gonna say?
There's definitely a lot more to this game than I initially thought. The battle mode, there's like 5 or 6 completely different modes, and
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
and
Dude, even the bomb thing, I was like, what?
there's like a shine from Mario, like keep away game. Then there's like chase down the other team, like if like somebody's like it'd be like tag almost, and it's some really cool modes. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna trade in a game or two. I'm gonna get this. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm
just...
totally gonna get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I resigned myself.
Yeah.
to
Now
that
Terrell
a couple
gets
weeks
it.
ago.
Now Terrell gets why.
okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm right with you there, Juice.
I'm gonna have to get this damn.
Listen,
game.
I'm getting it too, because you know what? If I bought Minecraft 5 times, if I bought GTA,
That just means you
3
don't know how to
times.
handle your money,
Yeah.
Robert.
You got problems.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
if I bought Galaxy multiple times, and
Why'd you buy
That
Galaxy?
means you made poor life decisions. That's what it sounds
if
like.
I bought Smash Bros. Brawl multiple times.
I mean, you're young. You got no job.
Why'd you buy those games
You got
multiple
no
times?
bills.
Okay. So specifically for Galaxy,
no. What did I
I was
Why did I open this can of
I
worms?
didn't really care.
Damn it, T!
I didn't know it was gonna be a story. I was just
on the
gonna
Wii
pick
U,
answer.
when I got my Wii U, I didn't have Galaxy anymore, and so I bought it from a friend, and that's what
I
happened.
want to ask another question,
Fair
but I'm
enough.
not going
It's cool.
No.
It is just fun.
So
When you
Terrell,
don't have
you were
bills, you
right.
get to have fun with your money, so it's a good thing.
The moral of the story is, or not moral. What is?
The moral.
Yeah,
Yeah,
moral
a
of the
bit
story.
moral.
Doesn't seem right. Yeah, is I'm getting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
God
You
damn it.
sell out. You
Fuck you,
sold
Terrell.
out.
Fuck you, Terrell.
Yeah, it just
Why-
sucks that I mean, just one more
For
new
being
car.
right. For being right and shit.
I know. I just wish maybe just some new racetracks or something.
No, you don't. You
Something
can,
else.
No,
That would've
that's the
helped,
thing
though,
is that they definitely count battle maps as tracks. It's
No,
that's what,
Yeah, I mean, there's like 6 brand new.
yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot
there's a
of new.
Splatoon one.
I
You
know.
know, and it's
I just
cool.
see an image of Juice being like, I wish they added in some more tracks as he slides his credit card
Yeah.
down.
with a tear rolling down his
He's like, I wish they added some more tracks.
Well, here's how it's gonna work. Because of my rewards at Best Buy, I get $5 off my next purchase. And Rob, you're not gonna like me. The game number 1 game on my list of trade-ins.
God damn it! What are you doing to me?
Resident Evil 7.
You're off the podcast.
I really-
There's nothing left in that game. It's over.
I don't think I don't know that I ever want to play it again. So
I mean, that's fair. I get it. There is
So-
really cool DLC for it, but I mean, the main
Yeah,
game.
the
it costs you money though, and it's already
Yeah, it's a
out.
couple
There's
bucks.
free DLC coming. There's
It's
free
true.
DLC.
That's
coming.
true. Yeah, there is. Yeah,
That
the stuff
$10
with,
DLC came out within a month.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Well,
It's
what
cool, man.
happened
It's
was
He's like, hey, man.
I played it, and I mean,
You played it. You
enjoyed
liked it. It's cool. Yeah, it's great.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that is-
if I don't get 20 for it, I'm not going. Like if they're like, oh, I'll give you 12, I'm like, no, No,
Yeah.
thanks. I only paid.
Came out. It's only like what, a month old, right?
Well, what'll be interesting, Juice? I feel like you gotta buy Splatoon 2. Then I'm guessing you will.
Yeah, we'll see how
We'll
that
see
goes.
how the test fire, how the game feels, and
I am definitely into Splatoon 2, man. I'm ready.
I'm waiting for
Yeah.
Juice. Juice is gonna flip.
and
on
I
us.
have that physical. I have Splatoon 1 physical, so I can trade that and hopefully
Okay.
get like.
I'm
20.
still thinking about doing that, but it's like, am I gonna regret it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What am I gonna do?
Look how that was immediate.
What am I going to do with Splatoon 1 in 5, 6
Exactly.
years?
I was
Play
that's
for
what I was
free.
saying. It's
Play
gonna
for free.
Play the
The
single player
servers
again.
won't be working, dude.
the server, yeah, the single player. Come on,
That boss fight
Yo,
is legit.
damn, T.
the boss fight. Yeah,
I want to know that the sequel has an equally awesome boss fight.
You won't know that.
Well,
till the
it will.
review
It
comes out.
will. I can confirm.
it's gonna have the same single player. How pissed would you be? They just have the same one in
I'd be
there.
less pissed because at least I wouldn't miss
Then you
out on
want
that.
yeah. Then you'd be like, oh, I
So
definitely.
anyway, anybody else watch the Mario Kart 8, like all the details and what?
Yeah, I
is-
watched
Yep.
the overview.
Who's here?
Yep.
Who here is getting it?
What?
I'm getting
I
it.
am.
I'm getting it. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark.
And I was completely on the fence. I'm not buying this. They should give me DLC for my one I already bought.
Mhm.
And
No.
that changed. You know what changed it the most though? Because some of the other stuff is like, oh yeah, that should be DLC, but you can't really DLC the dual item thing.
Yeah.
That's a total gameplay change.
It's such a fundamental change.
And all
Yeah,
the
you're
new
right.
items in general.
And-
There's a lot of new items.
And there's new items obviously, but that was the one thing I was like, well, they can't really DLC that. That's
Yeah.
reason enough to buy another, the game. So
It's a good reason. For me, it was not only the battle stuff, which I am excited
battle,
for,
obviously.
the couple of new characters, but I also realized I was like, man, the community is going to be kicking for this game.
Mhm.
And that's
for
when I was
sure.
like, it's worth it, man, because that's what it'll be a whole new Mario Kart community. Everyone's going to be
yeah.
really hot and into the whole business, man, and it's going to be a great thing to do all the time. And I was
It
like,
will
yeah,
be-
Didn't they up the tournaments, or am I wrong?
up a
I know
lot.
there's
How do
a
you-
lot
of the
I don't know if
tournaments.
there's any changes to them though.
It's all pretty much there. I think.
No, I know, because it looked like the tournaments were they added a bit more. Maybe I'm wrong.
I
know
mean,
you-
I set up plenty of tournaments, and I
Yeah,
see
you set it up more, so I don't know if you
nothing
noticed it.
different in
So
those.
I'm gonna say this sounds
You
like a
didn't
whole bunch of
notice
Wii U
anything?
propaganda again.
But
That's
I
what's
will
going
say
on.
there's one thing that it does inferior is there's not going to be built-in voice chat.
Oh, the 2 seconds.
No,
of-
what? No, you know
In the
what's great?
friends lobby, the built-in mic on the gamepad, it was better than Smash's voice chat, but it wasn't
Still
great.
trash.
Yeah, like that was an
But
accomplishment.
hold on a second. What about the horn?
Man, fuck the horn.
What do you mean?
You're talking about the horn.
What are you
Also,
talking
isn't there a
about?
button for the
Touchscreen.
horn?
The touchscreen horn, man.
I still didn't do the horn, man.
I
wanna
never
push
used
the
the
Couldn't
touch
you push a button for the horn?
I blew the horn before every race without a touchscreen.
Yeah, because he's a fucking asshole. That's why he blew the horn.
Yeah, but I want to touch it. It's a big button, and I want to touch it.
Oh, I never even because I always play with the Pro controller. So
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm not ashamed to say when I'm wrong and eat some crow. I thought, I was against the ports before they got announced. I wasn't super excited.
Well, I
I'm
would
still
almost
against the
argue.
idea of the ports, but this is
I'm against
This
the
is
idea
not
as
the
I
usual.
put
This
in
is
my
not the
critical
usual.
information.
Here's the thing, and I don't want to cut you off either, like derail you, Juice, but like I think a lot of the ports thing when that was controversial was the idea of a bunch of ports.
Mhm.
And right
Yeah.
now there's only been one game that has an online community to continue. So like one game is not a big deal, right?
I think we said that from the beginning, though. I think we
Yeah, I said
when we
I
said about the
a
ports,
few
we like it. We didn't mind they stretch them out, and we don't want a bunch of ports at the beginning of this thing's life cycle because
and we're not as
That's
far as
true.
we know.
We
we're
haven't
not.
seen that. There's only
Yeah, we're
one
not getting
game,
that,
yeah.
right.
Exactly, because remember they were talking about Mario Maker, Xenoblade, this,
Smash.
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
everything. Just bring over
I
the
do
whole
still
Wii
think
library.
Smash is going to come. Here's the thing, though. If Mario Kart is successful, do you think there will be
Yes.
more?
I think
I
Smash is
don't. I
coming
wouldn't
regardless.
expect Smash in 2017 though.
No,
No, but I think it'll come. I think it'll
I
happen.
think 2018 you'll get Smash, and I think it's going to be more significant additions. It
Well-
might even be
And if you
a-
think about it,
a refined, like maybe take out some, or I don't know if they take out characters, but maybe just tweak some things and
Mhm.
bunch of new stages and stuff. I
They'll
think it's be
find a
more
way
of
to
a.
change
And
it.
combine both the 3DS and
Yeah.
the Wii U. That'd be
I think it's be
amazing.
more
Yes,
of
yeah,
a.
if they do that. That's crazy. That'd be
I would
Oh, yeah,
expect it
holy
to
crap.
have even more new stuff than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I would really hope so. And the other interesting thing is 2 of the games that were part of those rumors, we end up having sequels coming from, which
Mhm.
is
Yep,
Xenoblade and
that's
Splatoon.
true.
So we're not getting ports, we're getting sequels, which is
Yeah.
exactly what
Which
a lot
is what we
that's what I
want.
wanted.
You can forget about Xenoblade Chronicles anytime soon, or Xenoblade Chronicles X anytime soon.
Yeah,
because Xenoblade 2 is coming.
Yeah, if you want to bring X in a couple years from now or something, or
Virtual console. Just do a virtual console.
Yeah, that's probably best.
And people were like, "Oh, there's not gonna be sequels. You can't." You guys are like, even. I was like, Splatoon definitely 2017, probably holiday. You guys like, no way.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And
That's
so
true.
glad
I agree. I was wrong on that one.
Me and Juice were the only ones.
Like, but I was the only one from the beginning who felt that Splatoon was a sequel. I was like, that is a sequel. And
yeah,
no
my
one
first
thought that
thought was not until I saw the comparisons. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely.
From the get-go, I was like, yeah, that's part 2.
No, I thought because I saw because of the map and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's not a. Remake.
All you had to do was look at them trees, man, them leaves.
Yeah,
and even the starting animation, like the character models when
that too,
the first popping up with them.
At first glance, it looks pretty similar, but when you really look at, and you know, that build they showed, that you guys played. If the game's, I'm guessing it's going to be July, August. It could be June, I guess.
I wish it
could be May.
It might just be because May might be. I think May will be ARMS.
Just like though,
there's a rumor about
May 2nd or something like that.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
But that's a Tuesday, so
that's too close to Mario Kart.
Way too close. I think it's gonna be May 30th.
Smash Mario Kart, everybody.
Smash Kart.
So what was that? Oh yeah, that Splatoon 2 demo was probably done in December, if not before. So I would think there's still plenty of time for them to add some layers and make it not look so much like,
for sure,
like the first one. So you know, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but I expect there to be some more significant improvements next time we see like a brand new trailer or something.
I mean, I hope that and playing it, there was nothing new gameplay wise that we really had except for how the map is different. And I'm really hoping, I remember like way back we had a podcast where we all kind of theorized on some ideas of a Splatoon 2. Like I think before even the Switch trailer, I could be wrong. It was like the NX days. And like someone, it might have been you, Juice, but someone brought up the idea of like being able to create like an ink thing from like the ceiling to the floor and traveling up and down and do it. And like that kind of stuff, I hope they add to this game and really change up the gameplay. That gets me so excited. But we haven't seen any really hints of that yet. So
yeah, they need to take more than a few small steps with some weapons and stuff.
I don't even care about the hairstyles. Like that can take or leave it, man. Give me gameplay stuff.
Knowing Nintendo, we're gonna get a whoa moment for Splatoon because that's what they do. Like you think
you're right.
Think you know what's going on. Like even with
the
Mario
Joy-Cons,
Odyssey.
man. That's what happened to me with the Joy-Cons.
Right.
Well, I mean, granted, Breath of the Wild had something similar where people liked the first trailer, and then that January 12th trailer came out, and you were like,
that trailer was like,
the Game Awards.
That was an old shit moment. Like I gotta sit down.
Yeah, the Game Awards one.
Yeah, the Game Awards one. Yeah,
that one wasn't that. People weren't as like blown away.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we saw like the Falco looking dude, and
well, but the game. I'm sorry, you mean the recent Game Awards? I went to the one before that.
That ain't Falco. Sorry.
Damn, I'm having I don't know. This is just random. The last 2 days it said I can't use my amiibos more than once in a day, and I haven't used this amiibo since Sunday or Saturday. I mean,
well, that's
yeah. So I'm actually gonna close the application and try rebooting the game and see if. I was just trying.
Maybe they're like, listen, you got to turn off this game, dude.
Yeah, you got Nintendo like you got to take a break. Maybe.
Dude, I've been staring at like Jet Rocket Dolphin emulator footage for the last.
Oh really?
Since we started talking about that,
you're reminiscing.
I want this game to be on there,
bro. So I just want to play that game, man. It looks
so gorgeous.
It looks awesome.
That and you know, like I can't wait for again. Like this month, we also have because this Friday's Binding of Isaac. I want to get that. And then also we got Pocket Rumble. That looks super damn good. I think people are good.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Street Fighter.
What?
That's
yeah, but it's $10. It's $10.
That's true, but
Wait, what do you mean you know? And also Snake Pass. Snake Pass comes out this month also on the 28th or 26th.
That's a weird title, man, that I don't really care about, and
when
I'm surprised that it's such a big deal.
It's like the 26th or the 28th Snake Pass.
Man, everything's a big deal on the Switch.
I guess so.
Right now, we're in that honeymoon stage.
Did you hear it has a Y button? Oh my god.
So I figured I'd just mention this randomly. I decided to connect my Switch back to the internet, and it froze, and I had to hard reset it.
Oh
man.
And this just happened a second ago. So
there you go, Nintendo. You got to get on that stuff.
We're gonna try this again, and hopefully, life isn't hard.
We're praying for you, man.
And I just discovered how you turn the actually turn the system off. You have to hold the power button on the action.
It's like the meta
Is
for
that
fucking.
how? I wonder.
It's
Okay.
like a
Nintendo, fix your shit.
it's like a phone, you know.
Because there's no way from the actual menu to shut.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that. Like, am I always only putting it on sleep? And even
Yeah, you
today, I
are.
was like, let me look at it from the home menu and see if there's a way to not put it in sleep. And it just says sleep.
And it boots up. I just shut it down completely, and it started up
It
almost
still boots right up like a.
took 3 seconds, where instead of 1 second to turn.
Oh,
on.
I assume have you guys all?
I love sleep mode.
I did this just.
That's all you do is go to sleep.
I could have sworn that Zelda was loading faster, like the world, like after you die or after you do something. I could have sworn it was loading faster and undocked. I could have sworn.
That could be. I mean, it's really efficient in undocked mode. Like it just simply is. So
I
that
could be wrong about that, but
I think you need to test that. But all right,
Even
let's
if you go to Korok Forest, it runs a bit better.
I haven't tried that.
I'm gonna try. I'll try that someday.
I actually
not 100% still, but it's still a little bit better.
Today, for the first time, I finally put in the SD card, my expanded SD card that I bought for it. I don't know if you guys have done that yet.
No, I don't need
I haven't done it yet. No.
It's great because it literally, I mean, it just turns the system on for a split second.
Cool.
And then it pops up and it's like, you need to download this update and restart the thing. And you just press the button that says accept. And in like 3.8 seconds, the whole thing is rebooted and opened back up. And it's like, oh, good to go. You've got your expanded memory.
Cool. That's
It's
awesome.
so great. It's simple.
Super fast.
So
So it doesn't update just until you put an SD card. Then it's like, all right, well, we'll
Mine
do an update
didn't.
now.
I had to restart it.
You have to restart it no matter what. I did
Yeah.
research before I put it in. It will restart no matter what. If depending on the type of SD card you use, there's one that's an XC model. You guys,
Yeah, it's the XC models that I think.
Yeah,
it had
and
to
that's what I
update.
bought. That's what most people have. That's the one that actually requires the straight up update. And it prompted the update as soon as I put it in. And then once you accept, yes, I want to update and restart, it does it all in one swoop. And it took like 15 seconds.
How much gigs did you have for?
I just got 128.
Okay,
That's all
I
I'll
feel
need.
like that's all you really need, to be honest.
Remember when that was a big deal? Damn, you got 128 gigs.
Yeah, that used to
Oh,
be
do
a
you guys
lot.
remember the movie Johnny Mnemonic?
Oh boy. Johnny Mnemonic.
He's carrying around
That's
this
that
hard
game, or
drive
that movie, man.
in his head, and it's 4 gigs, which is like
Yeah. It's exploding about to explode. Too much space.
Besides the random, adding to the random talk, do you want to know how long you've been playing Zelda for?
How long?
It said over 55 hours.
Damn
Mine
it.
said,
All right,
mine
I'm
said
sad.
70.
I don't even know.
I've
Mine
been
says-
playing for 7 minutes.
It's starting. Apparently, the Switches are starting to update with people's times for like
Yeah,
games.
it
I
doesn't
just
get
saw
No, I heard it. Apparently, it's 10 days, not a week.
No,
Doesn't-
lying.
Wait a minute. Doesn't your save
No,
file
no,
tell
no,
you?
it doesn't. It's not lying because that's what happened to me. Because it says 8
No,
days for the other one.
I didn't know that.
I will
I could
say,
have sworn your save file tells you when you started.
It's a bunch of
Does it?
propaganda.
No,
I think it just
no,
tells you.
that's the time in like military mode or whatever. In military time.
What?
You
that
know, like
tells you
the
the
time
time
in
to save,
military
yeah.
time.
like the time of the day, maybe where you're
Yeah,
saving.
the time of the day the save happens.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
tell you
it.
that.
Because then it'd always be stuck at like 23 hours or something. You know?
Well,
what I
it
mean?
depends on when you. If you do it at like 3 a.m, it'll say 3. You know.
Yeah, and then
it
23
just kind of
hours.
depends.
I
I think it's like
military time.
That's
I understand that, but
So
I
if
said
you
why
saved it at-
23?
If you saved it at 11 o'clock at
I was
night,
giving
it'll
an
say
example.
2300.
But that was so random that he picked 23 hours.
I just gave
I'm
an
just
example.
saying. 11
Mine's,
o'clock.
mine's always says 23. I always save it like at before.
You're only
midnight.
allowed to save it at 11 o'clock.
I
You
saved-
get
No, man.
I
that's
don't
some
know. It just
bullshit.
happens. It just happens. It just.
That's that Wii U propaganda shit again. It just crosses over.
Before let's get to the main topic, but I will say, yeah, I had the amiibos are working now, and I got the Twilight tunic, and it gave me a couple items, and to upgrade, it's like I only have one of each, so I can only upgrade.
What
them.
is the Twilight tunic? What is that?
It's just the Twilight Princess shirt. From
Does
the-
it give you anything, or is it
Yeah,
just like a?
It
like,
gives
what's
you a
the-
green tunic.
It looks like Twilight Princess.
Well, but okay.
Well,
So I had
did
to be
you
an
guys-
asshole
did
just
you
He was
guys
such a
see-
dick about it
Did you
too.
guys see that? They
Is it like
said
super
it-
dope though? Like, does it have like high defense or like any
No,
benefits?
just like all the other, you have to build up You have to upgrade
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Did you see that they said that it's not in the game personally because they think it wasn't cool enough or whatever?
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
pretty good.
The
the
green
Switch
tunic.
shirt is though. The Switch shirt is cool enough. Huh?
No, like they said that the green tunic is just
It's
not cool
gangster
enough.
as fuck, T.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks pretty cool, and I have the Korok arm, shield, bow, and sword. It just looks right.
Well, I
That's
don't
cool.
know. To me, like I saw this one guy that I know in school. He has it and stuff, and I'm like, man, my hoodie looks better though.
Because you want what you're used to.
Yeah, I've got a cool sweet hood.
Yeah, I totally threw the green hoodie on or hoodie. I totally threw the green hood on. And I was like,
I'm
oh,
going to the
now
mall.
I feel good. Now I feel complete because this is the Link I've always known with the
Mhm.
green.
No, I
hood.
mean my hood, like the hood, like Assassin's Creed hood sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
God.
I barely wore that. 'Cause
What?
it's like-
No, that's the. I wear that,
It
or
gives
like
you extra defense. Like it's good to have. That's why I use it.
I
Well,
wear
you can
that.
upgrade. I upgrade almost all my clothes have the same defense.
me too. Yeah, like Great
Like
Fairy.
28, I think.
Oh, I've only done that once.
Oh really? See, this dude hasn't
Robert,
done anything.
what
He beat
the-
the game though.
Yeah.
How did you beat the game?
I was
Well,
right. I mean,
I don't know.
maybe didn't rush through it, but I definitely skipped a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I keep thinking like I'm not gonna beat this game till well into April.
But
I'm
it's
no
not
hur-
rushing
so
it
glad
because
about
now
that.
I'm doing
I'm in
a
no
bunch of
hurry to
side
beat
stuff.
it,
I'm
like-
doing a bunch of side stuff, and I'm like having fun with all the villagers.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
you're
you've already
enjoying the
seen
game.
the end game though. Like, I don't want to like you do how you want to do it. That's cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you hadn't yet seen the end game. How much more excited would you be?
I don't know about that.
No,
I did
Okay.
run to the castle.
I
Though, and
just saw-
that was a
I
bad
just
decision.
saw certain stuff that I've never seen. I still am seeing more things I haven't
That's a
seen.
good
yet.
point. It is a
Yeah.
good game for that. So that's a good point. That's yeah.
What is it after you beat it? Does it take you back before you beat it, save file, or?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my biggest gripe is that I wish they could. I understand why, because if they didn't do it, it'd be like, well, there's no enemies then. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, technically there wouldn't be any guardians and stuff.
So you just had to start over.
No, you start
right?
over basically, and Ganon's still.
Oh man, that's
Yeah, it basically shows you. It gives you that save file before you fight Ganon.
It was like Twilight Prince, or not Twilight. It was like every Zelda, pretty
Like
much.
every
then.
Zelda.
Yeah.
right?
However, that's why like forever on the main side quest it says 14 out of 15 complete. It's like, but I did 15 twice, my dude. I did both of the endings. I finally got other stuff. And
is there more
Both
than
of
one
the-
ending?
there's
What?
2 endings.
I did
What?
not know that.
Yeah. I thought
Son
you
of
knew
a
that
bitch.
it was an interview with
Is it based on what you completed?
it's based on because
Or is it based on the
I
Divine
will say
Beast
this.
thing?
I will say this. If you don't, the way is if you don't do the memories, you get one ending. If you do collect all the memories,
Yeah.
you will never get that other ending. You know what I mean? Technically.
Oh, so okay.
However, all the 2 endings is it adds an extra scene. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it a good scene?
I don't understand.
I love
How would you rate the scene? Is it Zelda butt out of 10? Is that
I love that Zelda booty.
All right, let's get back on track. We got a whole topic. to cover.
Didn't we get on the podcast to talk about
I'm
Zelda?
about to say, just we were never on track. Don't fucking lie to these people.
Zelda was going to be at the very end. I want to talk about this third-party stuff. It's the title of the
Yeah,
the
we
actual
should talk.
podcast.
Yeah, what time is it?
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of late. We should.
Yeah, we got about a half hour. So,
Let's do it.
all right. Obviously, everybody knows at this point the Rhyme developer. Shit ain't gonna work. They said that. Sorry, I was trying to get out of the game while I was talking.
He's all like, "We're all talking about Zelda's butt, and he's playing the freaking game."
He's sitting there looking at the pictures like, oh man, that wasn't me, man.
So anyway, the $10 increase for the Switch version Rhyme, it's not coming the same day and date.
Yeah.
That's what everybody was talking about. No one's talking about what Digital Foundry pointed out, the Dragon Quest Hero 2 compares like the frame rate analysis.
I heard about that. I saw some talk about it.
Yeah, I saw that.
The game hovers
I knew about
in battle, 20 to 22 frames per second. Then I Am Setsuna dropped down from 60 FPS on the other systems to 30 on the Wii U on the Switch. And so I'm just seeing some stuff here, and I'm hoping the other two were just kind of launch title woes and
Yeah.
maybe not.
They have to be. My
why
cell
did
phone
I
can
am
run
Set
I am
Soda-
set soda at 60
I
frames.
don't know,
Give me a break.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, joke,
Bomberman at 30. There's no reason Bomberman should only be at 30 with the visual.
No reason for Bomberman being at 30 either.
Yeah, especially that game doesn't look like anything
That
top
looks
tier.
pretty
so-
decent, but yeah. So what do you guys think? Is this just more third-party shenanigans that are we because we're scoring from the Wii U, or maybe we noticing this more? But and then we'll specifically do the price increase thing in a little bit. But what do you think? How are you feeling about third parties at this point with just some of the early stuff that's happened? And not forgetting that Fast RMX run's awesome, and I don't know of any other games to compare to talk about. I haven't heard good or bad on any of the other few games. So
I wouldn't make this a third-party referendum thing. I just think there's these guys who just rushed their game out, obviously, to get it ready for Switch launch because people were going to want some games, and they knew that there weren't that many, and they had a good chance of getting picked up. So I don't think as far as I Am Setsuna goes and Dragon Quest Heroes, the developers of that, who was that? Who was that?
Yeah, Koei,
right? Yeah, Koei Tecmo. I don't think it's just that third-party Nintendo stuff for them. I just think they rushed it. It would have happened on anything if a new system came out. But the guys who made Rhyme, come on. Here's the problem with that, because I would agree, yeah, the fact that the cart costs more, because carts do cost more to produce than DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever. That's fine, but the digital version isn't cheaper. Mm-hmm. And not only that, there's another game coming, Puyo Puyo Texas. Tetris.
English is a bitch tonight.
Puyo Puyo Tetris, which the cart and the digital version are the same price. So you got
isn't it more expensive than the PlayStation 4 version though?
I don't know that. I don't know about that.
I'll go check while you're talking.
Could be.
Is the PlayStation 4 version out yet?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I'm about to go look while you guys
what are you asking? You asking about Puyo Puyo Tetris?
Yeah, is that out yet on the PS4 or not?
Let me look.
Maybe in Japan.
Yeah. Because the Switch version is $10 more.
It's 24?
25? No, the Switch is $39.
I thought it was 35.
No, it's 39, at least according to Amazon.
And then the PS4 is 29. And the thing is, I apparently that Nintendo's policy on Switch eShop is that it's got to be the same price retail.
If it's the same exact version, obviously. If it's like a
apparently, is that from Nintendo? Because
I can see that being a Nintendo thing. I can see them saying that.
But Nintendo you have to say it for me to believe them saying. Is that somebody just guessing or?
Why? Apparently, Eurogamer said that they've heard that.
God!
And then Nintendo
it's
said
not
it.
Confirmed. So
Nintendo said it, and my Nintendo said it.
Because then at that point, it's like, all right, well, if that's your policy, Nintendo, you need to eat that $10 or that $5.
I think that's the reason why it's encouraging more digital than physical. Pretty much.
I think that's why a bunch of indie game developers are only eShop.
But here's the thing we're not talking about, though, and T, what you just said was reiterating the point I'm going to make, which is if this is all really stemming from the cartridge thing, that means it's honestly a huge problem that Nintendo did the cartridge. I have to admit that. Like, if simply having a console that uses these tiny little cartridges means your average third-party game is going to be more expensive, either Nintendo eats it or they've really created a kind of shitty ecosystem.
Well, I don't think it.
I have to admit that is really an unfortunate thing that they've done. But I don't know that I believe this.
I have to wait. Like, I don't want to jump the gun on that.
Yeah,
I think the problem's more based around indies than it is anybody else because
all third party they're still going to be 60 in period. That's it.
It's gonna do nothing but create a problem, and it's gonna be a whole different reason to run into a third party issue, and that's dumb. I don't even know, man.
But think about
I'm really worried about that.
What's a standard SD card, which that's retail price for us? What's the size for $10? What do you get? 32 gigs now?
32 or 64?
Oh, probably it's probably 16 or. I mean, I paid $40 for my 128, so I feel like.
Well, that's a micro SD. I'm talking about just a standard SD.
Oh, gotcha. I don't know.
Just to get an idea on value itself. So my question is, if that's our price, you know, the actual retailer probably pays $4 or $5 for it.
Mhm.
I mean, or less.
It's cheaper if they buy it in bulk.
And you're talking manufacturing price, and the manufacturing, and of course, Nintendo, maybe they're trying to get an extra buck or two, maybe.
That's a dangerous game.
I can't. Well, even Sony, Microsoft do that. They get a couple bucks just licensing fee on.
Sure.
So, with that being equal, I cannot accept, unless they're talking about a 64 gig SD card down the road, I cannot accept a small indie game being, you know, whatever RIME's going to be, probably under 16 gigs. I can't accept a $10 difference between the Blu-ray and the packaging and a Switch cartridge. With
No way.
Yeah, I just can't imagine it being that much.
It seems a bit egregious.
If it was
even if it
$5,
does cost more.
And if that was going to be the case, like I question Nintendo's, when they would have been researching this, I'm sure they would have known, well, if we decide to make our next console cartridge, that means your average game is going to cost more than the competition.
Well, what about
Why
3DS,
would they have
though?
done that?
3DS has been out forever, and it's
Right,
Exactly.
3DS.
That's
But 3DS cartridges are a lot smaller than 32
Space-wise.
gigs.
Yeah, about to say, what's the average? Isn't it like less than? It's like
8 to 4.
Yeah, it's like 4 to 8
Probably
gigs.
top.
I
yeah.
just
that
feel
didn't
like
affect.
you're-
I mean, the 3DS was out in 2011. You know,
Yeah.
those size game, that memory cost more, and it
That's
didn't.
true, yeah.
The game's still $30 and $40. Like
Yep.
it didn't.
Yeah, the
change.
games are still $40. So I don't.
I don't think it's. I mean,
I just feel like Nintendo put themselves and then us, the consumer, if this is true, they put everyone, including themselves, in a
If-
really
if-
precarious scenario. Like,
if-
why
if-
would they have
if-
done that?
Well, the thing is, if
just
me or us having cartridges means that, you know, some indie games are going to be more expensive, I'll take that, you know, as for the benefits of having cartridges and not having to deal with
See,
all
and
the
that's
BS.
what I'm
Like,
trying to weigh
I'll
in my
take that
brain.
L for that, you know. It's just like,
I don't know.
Okay,
Yes,
But
so
the problem
Ryan-
is that you run into
Prime
situations
is
where
$10 more. Okay, I'll wait till it's cheaper, then I'll buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
not a big, you know, that's a small issue compared to having to download every game, even though you have it on a disc.
But here's the thing: is I don't think the wider audience would agree with that, though.
no,
And I
they
think
wouldn't.
that's where it gets dangerous. But go ahead.
It
Phil,
also-
I didn't want to cut you off.
It also makes it also brings up suspicion about other games. It's like, is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe $50 because
well,
the
Six-
game
I
is
can
worth
squash that. We can squash that right now. What is it? Has Been Heroes physical is $20.
Oh,
Is it?
Yeah.
It's $20.
Hey, that's good to
Well,
hear.
So then what?
I forgot about that.
But see, it's weird because then it brings up all these inconsistencies because, like, you look at like Bomberman.
It's GameStop. You think GameStop don't want their money?
No, but I'm thinking like you even think about it. Bomberman's $50, and most people said that probably shouldn't have been as much as it is, and you can't tell if that's a Konami thing
That's Konami probably gouging a
Or-
little bit, but
because I mean, I don't know.
It's just a matter of if this is a developer thing, making a really crappy business.
But it also
decision.
doesn't seem to be affecting the bigger ones because
Well, that's the next thing. Yeah, you can't make like Mass Effect on the Switch or whatever and charge $70 for
70,
that.
yeah. I don't
You
think
are
that's going to happen.
screwing yourself.
Well, the fact that
Yeah.
Nintendo was only charging, the standard 60 for
forget about
Zelda
it.
Exactly.
for their own games, which
Yeah,
is
man.
what brings up some type of suspicion that if this is true or not.
It
Yeah, and
seems
that's
like-
true.
Zelda's
Nintendo games-
13. Zelda's 13 gigs though. You know,
Mhm.
are these guys gonna get their games down to that size? Probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be
probably
interesting
gonna
to
be
see,
32.
later on. I don't know.
But in this situation, they're paying Tantalus to port it. That's their decision. I mean,
Yeah.
you're paying more money. You're going to be selling more copies of the game for a new system. I just don't like that. And they didn't say till later, well, there's different manufacturing costs, and it's like
No,
I don't
actually,
believe
yeah.
the cartridges are $10 more.
No
I'm
way.
gonna go look at this guy at 5 real quick because this guy at 5 came out in Japan and that's been out on the PlayStation 4.
It's just weird because they're like completely passing the buck to Nintendo. It's like, well, if Nintendo didn't have this rule, this is what they're saying, right? That Nintendo has a rule.
Well, that's
where-
according to the rumors. I don't
Right.
think they actually said that.
I don't even want to speak on that because that's not even confirmed. So
Yeah, well, and I mean, we're even still kind of speculating on whether or not, like, is it really the cartridges that's making this happen or not?
I
If
could
it's
see
the
a couple
cartridges, if
bucks.
it's Nintendo's fault.
but why is it not
Even a
happening in
couple
other
bucks.
game? Like,
Exactly. That's why I don't really know that I believe it, but the conversation has existed, and that's when I start to think, okay, if there's truth to that, then I have to blame Nintendo, and I have to say you created a poor business model. Like, yes, like maybe some people would be willing, like T, you mentioned, maybe you're willing to sacrifice a couple of bucks to have the convenience of
I'm willing to sacrifice a couple of games. I didn't say I was gonna pay more for these games. I'm like, I'm gonna buy the ones who price their games the same as everybody else, and not these guys who are trying to get an extra buck out of this situation. And that's what I feel like. I feel like they're trying to get an extra buck out of it.
I really think that too. I do think that also.
Let's just say they stand by their guns. That Switch version comes out. It's $10 more. I said this on my super long juice opinions. That game better not have a single frame rate issue or any kind of like negative performance issue at all. If especially you're charging $10 more for the same game, considering it's even coming out even later.
Better.
I went right back to. For me, I went back. Obviously, a lot of us probably did. Went back to this is like Wii U all over again. Where
that's the big
Deus Ex. Like Deus Ex was like more expensive.
$20 more, I think.
$20 more expensive, and it's like why?
Well, I'm suspicious because even now looking at
there were very specific Wii U things at least in that.
But then you had like Mass Effect. You had Mass Effect Trilogy at $60, and then you had Mass Effect 3 on Wii U for $60.
That was ridiculous.
I mean, that was just
it's sending games out to die, and that was like when I made my whole video too, and I tried to like evoke the whole Watch Dogs thing too, where it's like you're sending a game out to die.
Well, that's all they did for the Wii U.
And who gets blamed? We get blamed.
And who gets blamed? Yeah, the console and the gamer who supports and the Nintendo fan, that's what gets blamed, and that's a huge problem, man. Like you can't do that.
No, I think.
It sets a dangerous precedent.
I think, Terrell, you looked up some other games.
Yeah, I'm going to say Disgaea 5 I just looked up, and that's the complete edition, which just came out on the PS4 maybe like a month or two ago. But this one actually includes all the DLC. That one's just $60. Like that one's the same.
So how much was the PS4 one without that stuff? What was that price?
Well, right now it's $47, but it's been out.
It was $60 when it came out.
It probably was $60 when it came out. So
there we go. That's great. I'm good with
it. But my concern is that we're just not going to get that many physical indie game titles. Because it's like, to me, I don't think this is going to affect the major third parties as much as it'll affect the minors.
Don't go physical very often anyway.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's kind of
starting. They actually go pretty often on PS4 now.
I'm about to say they've been starting to a lot recently. That's
but I didn't even know.
Rhyme is physical and digital.
A week ago, I didn't even know Rhyme was going to be physical.
No, I didn't. I was assuming it was going to be digital. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't know that it was even getting a physical.
Well,
I'm having to pay more. I was going to buy it digitally, and that's what I was going to buy it as. I'm having to pay $10 more for reasons that don't affect my purchase decision. That's BS to me. No,
it's really not okay.
Well, it's that whole argument of it's the extra development cost, and you're sitting there going, but wait a minute, I'm buying the digital version,
right?
Mm-hmm. Why am I? It's not like the extra money might be coming from printing out physical copies of a game that may not sell that well. I can understand that.
And we've had the discussion. When we were talking industry wide, digital should be cheaper.
Yeah.
So we didn't even have this problem.
It's the thing I brought up with the PlayStation 4 Pro when I was like, I'm gonna go all digital. And I think within the first week, I was telling Jews, I was like, hey, there's no benefit to it.
You don't get the discount. No Gamers Club, no Amazon Prime discount.
There is no trade.
There's no value. You can't trade. You can't do anything.
There's no incentive to go digital on any of these consoles right now.
No. The only incentive is laziness because you don't want to. Which is my younger brother.
That's so cool.
Love him to death, but that's his thing. Is he's like, I don't want to get off my couch and put a game in.
And I don't want all that trash in my house.
So let me ask two questions. First one, what if it was a $5 difference and they say, well, it's just the cartridges cost a little bit more? Would that? You think we'd be talking about this?
No, that to me would make it worse.
Really?
Because it'd be for one, it'd be a confirmation that it is the cartridges.
That's a good point. Man.
And then two, means that almost creates a precedent for every game following that every game. Well, at least smaller titles.
But here's the thing: I was expecting that from the beginning. Like that, I was expecting the cartridge to yield a higher price. A lot of these people don't remember, but Super Nintendo cartridges and N64 those things were expensive.
That's very true.
They were more expensive than the other consoles. So I was used to that.
We got the Vita and 3DS, and DS been out forever.
Exactly, that's the difference now.
I mean,
you make a really good point, T, because I was
because then it just comes off inconsistent.
What game was like 70? Star Fox was like $80 or something when it came out.
It had that chip in it.
Yeah, and like they literally took the physical technology that was included in your purchase was determining the price.
And like, Perfect Dark was 80, I believe.
I am not surprised. Yeah, so it's a good point, but like you guys, the point you guys are making is nowadays we're kind of beyond that, and especially with like the size of what these things are.
Yeah, then
it just doesn't fly the same way.
How's Vita and 3DS games?
That's the thing. Vita and 3DS blows all that up now because we've already. It's not like
Yeah, you can say that.
Then we were moving away from cartridge. It's like, oh man, cartridges are so expensive, and you could see that. We understood that. But now it's like, oh well, we had Vita, we've had every iteration of the Nintendo handhelds, and those were cheaper than the home console games, obviously, but they were still relatively cheap.
But I think the issue there is that the prices were steadily getting jacked up, even with the handhelds. Because think about it. The 3DS, we got around $40 games, and handheld titles.
All the first party stuff was $40. Everything else was $30.
But you're talking about 3DS was basically bringing you. There was the start of bringing you home console type games.
No. I'm not. I understand it, but I'm saying.
Yeah, I know you understand. I'm just saying. I just wanted everybody else to.
I think the DS didn't the DS have $40 titles or not?
No,
it did 35.
Yeah. No, it was
it was like a $5 increase.
Yeah,
they were like 35.
Yeah, they were
$34.99. I'm telling you, the first party Nintendo stuff I think was $40 on that too. I'm pretty sure they were.
Well, some games are 30. I mean, it's just like on the Wii U, they based game prices on.
I'm saying because for the DS, I primarily remember it being 35 as the standard.
But and the other question I was going to ask, and I just want to say, if it was just $5 to me, that's I can accept that. Like, okay,
it's easier to swallow.
Cartridge
that would be
expensive.
My problem is that most people aren't going.
They're making that decision. That's them. Somebody else isn't. Here's my other question, and maybe it's hard to answer without because this doesn't happen. But what if every game was going to be $5 to $10? Let's just say $5, just for argument. Let's say going forward, Nintendo just in third parties just said, "Yep, our games because of the cartridge." The benefits, not having to install and this and that, and the cartridge media is still a little bit pricey. All games were going to be $5 more on the Switch.
So like it'd be 65 also.
Yeah, I think that would have been a huge killed any chance the Switch had for success.
Oh, the internet would have destroyed that.
The only thing that would have saved that is if it kept parity. If they kept parity between the versions, not this I Am Setsuna shit where you cut the frame rate in half. If it kept parity, it may have been passable. It probably would still piss people off. But if you could get like the same quality of Madden and FIFA and Call of Duty and shit for like $5 more, I think some people would eat the $5 if they kept parity.
They could spin it into a positive with the right message, possibly.
And you don't have to.
But it would be big damage that they would do with that, man.
Sometimes I feel really sorry for these companies because these games are expensive. Like video games, especially today, are expensive to make, and because of like even mobile has just destroyed pricing as far as indie games go, and everybody because those quick little crappy games, everybody thinks that's what you should pay for a game when it's only 2D. So I shouldn't have to pay full price for a 2D game.
Get out of here.
That's why I'm shocked. I was shocked Ukulele is $40 being a crowdfunding game. Like to me, that's. I don't know. That seems a little high. Like I said, Shantae on the Wii U.
They get high. I think it's a good price.
Well, Shantae physically was. I'm about to say Shantae physically was $30,
but apparently it came with the CD. Is that correct?
Yeah, you got a CD.
Stuff. Yeah, you got a soundtrack.
So that that kind of justifies the
and the digital version.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah,
it made you feel like you were getting something more at least.
It's that imaginary. Hey, listen, this is why we're bumping it up.
It's exactly that.
I gladly paid $10 and got it digital, and I have no regrets. But
I will say when it comes to this whole thing, and this is kind of something I echoed on my video where I ranted about this, is to be fair, like the $5 thing, I don't know if that would make a huge difference for me or not when it comes to Rhyme. But I will say if this really only happens with Rhyme and maybe one or two other games, but by the end of the year this isn't happening at all, I really won't care. Yeah. And I'll be like, I
think that's going to be the case.
And I hope so too, because it could be like, well, maybe it was like early development costs. It's a new console. This company wasn't prepared for what it was like to port this game over. They had to pay this other company.
Yeah, they paid another company to do
it. Like the first couple of guinea pig companies making a game, it's like one or two times I can understand if it doesn't become a trend. It's it's the whole precedent of this becoming the norm that we've been talking about. That's where it's scary territory.
I don't think it will be because I think this game's DOA now on Switch.
Probably, yeah. And they might
And,
learn
Yeah, that kind of fucking killed it.
Game.
I
really want to
expect
play it on
that now, honestly.
It was on my to get list for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm about to say because the Digital Foundry video on Dragon Quest Heroes that just killed me.
I'm done. I'm done with that. You can forget
I
it.
was gonna at least try the game out. I actually need to look up the pricing for that game too because
it's 60 for.
I didn't see Digital Foundry, but I heard
Oh, that
here's
frame
the
rate
ass,
is ass,
dude.
dude.
and I'm like, nope, not buying that.
The frame rate drops every time you attack something.
Yeah, but the thing is, they didn't show Dragon Quest Heroes 1, which was a Vita game. They didn't show any frame rate analysis on that game, which is curious.
Well, actually, the Dragon Quest 1 came out on the PlayStation 4, though.
Yeah, but it was a Vita game to start.
Oh, yeah.
So that one might not have the issue. I mean, that hasn't been confirmed.
But
here's the weird thing. So I watched their Hyrule Warriors videos because I was like, man, was Hyrule 30 or 60? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 30.
And Hyrule Warriors during battles average about 25. So,
really?
Yeah, 25 to 28. It kind of jumped back and forth depending on the battle.
Yeah, I remember that. It wasn't consistent.
So-
Warriors games are notoriously bad.
Yeah, they're not good for their frame rates.
So it's like
Yeah, and that's a developer thing.
I remember Hyrule Warriors being pretty fluid, and that's like getting. I mean, 25.
The only reason
25 and 20.
all those
I think
characters on
I
screen.
think the problem with it that pisses me off more is the fact that on PS4 it's 60 frames.
Yeah,
if it was 30 on
that's the thing, right?
if it was 30 on PS4, I probably could have just ate it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they went for native 1080p, and it looks. I was really impressed at how it looked.
Yeah, it looks great.
And I'm like, they didn't have to go that far. I mean, they could have dialed it back for lock 30. That would have been a smarter choice for me, in my opinion. And
I'm about to say, in terms of graphical comparison, the Switch actually does really well.
but who knows? Like by the time the US version hits, I mean,
Nah,
I don't know. Maybe they'll work.
Especially if they're working on
Technically, that didn't happen.
I'm not saying because think about it, they're also working on
I
Fire
really
Emblem
hope. Yeah, I
Heroes.
really hope
Fire Emblem.
Heroes doesn't. I hope it's more like Hyrule Warriors, which
That worries me.
felt pretty.
I'm gonna say it's not gonna,
That's
I don't.
true,
If we can get 60 on that shit, I will be fucking.
I'm not.
It's gonna be a telltale sign, but yeah, I wouldn't expect it.
I would say expect Hyrule Warriors performance, which no one
Just
complained.
okay.
I don't remember any of us complaining.
No.
about Hyrule
Yeah,
Warriors.
No, it wasn't bad.
It was mostly smooth.
Yeah, I remember it being smooth.
Yeah, it
But
would only
like
get
I said-
choppy when it turned into like a cutscene. That's when I would see a lot.
Every battle in Hyrule Warriors was, like I said, 25 to 28
Yeah.
range. It was never.
Which
at 30.
unfortunately is better than what Dragon Quest Heroes is
Yeah.
dealing.
So I would expect that for Fire Emblem Heroes. I think that's going to be your.
Well, yeah, even the first gameplay footage we've seen of it looks about on par of like pre-alpha, maybe like Hyrule Warriors stuff. Because like remember Hyrule Warriors had that first trailer and it looked pretty kind of
Yeah, it didn't look-
bland as hell.
it looked rough.
it still
And then
did. I don't think it came as far as like graphically as a lot of people thought.
no,
'Cause I
no.
went back and watched that video after playing it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it didn't look great, but it's not like light years better.
Yeah,
I don't think
agree.
it wasn't light years,
pretty
but it
close.
was
It was definitely noticeably.
it was a decent jump in performance.
It was
So,
it was a jump, but I mean, like that game was never visually impressive. Like that
No,
was,
it was never
it just
about
wasn't
that.
about that.
It was just more interesting to see because it was interesting to see like Legend of Zelda characters in that style.
It's
but that
weird.
was-
I will say that even though I'm not a graphics whore, I do have pretty high like hopes for what the visuals are really going to look like in like the final Fire Emblem Warriors. I know we saw like the 10 seconds or whatever.
But
they
I
showed in
think
that
it
thing.
looks awesome.
It
I-
does,
maybe
it
that's
looks good, but
The
we don't know
Nintendo
for sure
effect.
yet.
Nintendo ain't gonna sit back and just like let you put out some trash either.
Yeah, with Fire Emblem being there, like
They're-
their franchise on the
They're your
rise.
baby.
I
Yeah.
think
I'm
you
about to
guys
say
need to
we
go
got
back.
I'm about to say we
Go
have
back and watch
we had 3 Fire Emblem games come out this year. If you
Right.
count the mobile game, they're not gonna have that shit.
no.
I still play that damn game.
If you go back
I
and
know you
watch
do.
it, I think you'll be surprised at how
I've
good
watched
Fire
it 3-4
Emblem is.
times.
I think it looks. I don't know. To me, I
will
was
say-
like, damn, it looks really clean.
I will say the first gameplay of like Crom fighting and shit, that looks way better than Hyrule Warriors just off a jump.
That's what I'm saying. It
Oh
looks
yeah,
way
no, yeah,
better.
for sure, yeah.
But
I mean,
I
it's
would
a more
rather have
powerful
it look less and be at a better consistent frame rate.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, I was playing Neo like I was freaking curing cancer with that game up until Zelda came out. And it's interesting because what that game does is gives you 2 modes. I don't know if you guys have seen this. you can select how you want that game to perform. You can say, I want higher textures and resolution at the sacrifice of 30 frames per second, or I'll sacrifice the textures.
Is that boost mode, or is that just on a normal PlayStation 4?
No, that's just regular PS4. So you can pick how you want.
Run at when you have it on the frame rate setting.
30? It's I don't actually know. It's probably just like 720 with lower textures, I assume.
In a lot.
I don't know, but it's locked at 60.
Oh, it's at 60?
Yeah, except for when you go to the shrines and reset you like reset your Amrita and all that stuff. It dips for like a second, but playing the game and running through the world is locked at 60 if you choose that mode.
How much of a difference is there? Have you noticed going back and forth?
I've only tried it one time because I was like, I just want 60 frames per second because this game is about action, not graphics, and I just really cared about the action. But I mean,
wonder if you switch back, how big of a difference? Because 60, that's a significant.
That's a pretty good jump.
It is. No, I mean that's the way to play it. It's a great game, but in and of itself, and then because it's such a strategic, dodge and attack mechanic action game, you really want that, and it makes a difference. So
it's like going from a movie to like a TV sitcom as far as the visual difference. You can definitely tell.
It's really cool that they do that. And it's like kind of gives you like a mini idea of like what the PS4 Pro would do. Like which version do you want to, which mode do you want to
Yeah, because I know PS4 Pro, the Pro has those options. It's interesting that a regular game. Now, what if Zelda had play 720p locked 30? I mean, I would definitely try that. But
which reminds me, I need to try the fucking boost mode on this PlayStation 4. It got the update last week, and I haven't.
So what would you guys do? Would you play Zelda at a 720p native lock 30, or the way it is with the frame drops?
I'd rather have the frame rate.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah, but I'd rather
1080 and 720, man. You can't even tell the difference. Get out.
It already looks super nice on the handheld.
Sure you can, man.
I'd have to see what the Wii U.
You don't have enough P's on your console.
Because it does look pretty sharp. At times, it looks really sharp.
Isn't it 900p or something?
Yeah, 900.
Oh, is it 900?
Those Xbox One resolutions.
That makes it even easier.
I guess they're not so different after all.
That's only 180 P's, man. I don't care about those P's.
I wonder if that isn't the issue. I wonder if they just said whatever the porting the game engine or the game engine itself, they just couldn't get rid of it, and they said, well, we might as well make it the highest resolution we can. I wonder. I'd be curious to find out.
And I think it optimizes the game for it.
You get the physics engine and the dynamic weather and all that stuff. Man, there's a lot chugging on that.
That's really true, actually. It's a miracle that game runs the way it is.
Even the Wii U version.
The Wii U version. Yeah. Imagine if this was built on the Switch. Just imagine.
Well, think about it, because we've actually seen 720 native in 30 frames. It's the handheld mode.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, while we were talking
was getting at.
Earlier, though, I went to the Korok Forest, and to me, there's no noticeable improvement in the.
Wait, there's a Korok Forest?
Oh, you didn't know that?
Spoiler alert!
Well,
you piece of shit.
I'm kidding.
Let's just say that.
I see it was just like
there are Zoras in this game.
To me, it felt like in handheld.
Zelda's a girl? No way.
I thought handheld had a little bit.
I just tried it, and to me, it felt like a straight 20 the whole time I was there. So
I believe
I'm gonna try that.
The fact that it runs the same, though, to me, that's impressive still.
Yeah.
All right, so let's finish this up. Everybody's been to Zora domain here. So
yes.
What's that?
What's a Zora?
I want to talk about their character design. I thought we'd just kind of pick each week, maybe just I'll pick a specific little detail or something that we could talk about. And I don't know wherever I think everybody but T actually beat the dungeon there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much time you spent talking to the NPCs.
Oh, a lot.
But that dude that looks that's like the Stingray, the green, what is it, Moo?
Oh, the old guy?
Oh, Muzu?
Old guy, yeah.
Muzu. That design just is so awesome to me. I just can't get over it.
He looked very Disney.
It's so cool. And then you got Mifa.
He's
like
racist, though.
Huh?
He's racist. He's kind of racist. Right?
Yes.
I just
because he's a Hylian.
He's an old racist Zora,
Well, just wait till you get to the sexist area of the game. That's gonna happen.
Oh God! Oh yeah, I saw your picture, Rob.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Each area has a
All right, stay on track.
All right, guys, come on.
Everybody's talking at once. So
This game's got me triggered.
Mifa.
I don't believe in cross dressing.
Come on. I think just the ingenious of like Mifa from the front just looks like she has like bangs and stuff, but from the side it's like I don't know what fish or
Then she
dolphin.
got these big bags, you know.
Oh
And it's
my
like
gosh,
from the
man.
side it looks. Come on, dude. Let me just finish the damn story. I'm getting frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. Mute yourself if you can't help it. From the side, like it's like a fish, like a dolphin or Prince. Somebody help me.
Sidon?
Yeah, like Sidon, yeah.
His looks like almost like a shark from like the side and with the tail and everything, but from the front you can't even tell that's the design they're going for. So I just think it's ingenious. I was like, I was blown away.
Well, they use their heads to great advantage, I think, in that. It's kind of like how the squid stuff on the Inklings is like almost like their hair, but it's actually like an animal. They kind of did the same thing.
Yeah. I didn't like it at first, but the more I looked at him, I'm like, man, this is, like you said, it's kind of genius. I definitely like it better than the Ocarina of Time Zoras.
Oh yeah.
Those are my...
It's tough because like I grew up with those Zoras and they pretty much lasted even through like Skyward Sword and stuff. Yeah. And I prefer those because these ones, like, they have like the weird, like some of them like the weird proportions on the torso and their legs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just feel like in this Zelda and in this world and art style, this is like probably the best way they could have made the Zoras.
Well, I mean, they're just more interesting looking to me. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're more interesting looking.
Yeah, I think they're a lot more detailed. To me, they got
there's more personality between them.
Yeah, they're all different. They all look different.
Yeah, having them all be different actually is a really good point. That's a really, really good point.
Now, what about?
But the question is there a Zora band? Until I see a Zora band,
my gosh,
that's when I'll be satisfied with the Zora.
Majora's Mask in the house.
Yeah, man.
And what about Prince Sidon's like grin every time he looks at the camera?
That grin kills me, man.
He's looking at 100% cheese, man.
Dude, he's even charming me, man. I'm like,
man, he's 100% cheese, man. He's gangsta as fuck.
I love it.
And
I love it so much.
This would be a minor spoiler for anybody who hasn't got there. If you're listening, you might want to. I thought he had ulterior motives. Like I thought he was like a salesman, and there was like some BS coming my way. Like I thought he was setting me up, but he's just a prince, and he's proud of it. You know.
Yeah. That man is a pimp.
He's a cocky son of a bitch.
He's got muscles, and he's putting his thumbs up and smiling. Smiling at you.
It's just kind of the charm of how Zelda. It's kind of the charm of how Zelda does that stuff. It always has like a little bit of a sense of humor. And this game has like a bunch of that stuff, and you can see it in like the Zora's domain. There's a lot of
everybody's in love with him. He's like a rock star, and he knows it. You know,
he's a good guy too.
Can we talk about?
Yeah, but he's also a really good guy. He's not like.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Can we talk about Mifa for a second though?
Yeah,
like
we can talk about.
Without spoiling anything.
No.
Oh yeah, no spoiler. Yeah.
It's not anything major. Link, I don't know. Link is hurting these women. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, man.
He had that bitch sprung. Like I don't know how to explain it without really getting into it.
You can't really. You can't.
It's like
there's a flashback sequence you see, and it's just kind of like, man,
wow.
Did you have the memory yet, T?
Yeah. Oh wait.
Yeah. Like you telling stuff like you might want to chill out. I've seen that. So, but
well, yeah, I already gave people the warning.
Yeah.
If they're not,
but yeah, she man. And then it was like, it's like, who made the armor? It's like, oh, did you look at his armor? Oh.
Yeah, it's like from Meatball.
And it fit perfect.
He was like, bruh.
It's like Ruto coming to fruition.
I feel like there's I'm waiting for that memory. I'm waiting for that memory where fucking you see a sequence of like Link and Zelda, and Mifa's just in the back, like, bruh, you just like, man,
give me my power back.
And my armor.
I'm gonna share a picture. I just shared the wrong one.
I'm looking at. Oh, really? I like that picture though.
Can we talk about like?
Remember, the listening audience doesn't know what picture
she's not covered up in certain upper regions.
Come on, man.
She's naked.
Oh, dude.
Why am I the one who didn't bring this up?
She's a fish, man. What the?
Yeah, and Link is just always staring at her. I mean,
those are some exposed boobies.
What the fuck is happening?
Juice, I never thought those words would come out of your mouth, man.
Wow.
Look at that.
He'll be saying a lot worse later on.
Sorry, all 2 women watching this podcast.
Sorry, Gloria. But anyway, I thought that was odd. Like they went with that choice. where it's like
it didn't jump out to me.
Well, it's
really.
like mermaidish. It's just.
I saw it and I'm just like, damn, they're all naked, man.
I wonder if she tried. I wonder if they tried putting like seashells on or something. If maybe that drew
That just
even
makes
more
it look
attention.
I think that would have
worse.
been weirder. I think
Yeah.
that
There's also like some.
Yeah.
That's also very like stereotypical. That's offensive to mermaids. All right, they don't all wear seashells. All right.
Mm,
So
Sometimes they
somebody
wear
did,
seaweed. Damn it.
really? That doesn't look good. I don't think that look good.
somebody did a either it's official Nintendo, but they took that same kind of art that Nintendo with the white background and like the brush strokes in the background, and then like Link and Zelda.
Yeah.
And there's one for Mifa. Of course, it's not. It says it's in 1080, but it's not coming in full resolution. It's all blurry on.
Because he did
Google.
check, dog. He did check.
It just
So,
it's like at like 180 resolution. Like it's at such a low resolution, I can't even make out.
Oh yeah, I
what
think
it
I
is.
found it.
But I
found
wonder if that's official or not, because it would be cool if it is. But
I'm gonna post that in
I
the
thought I
chat.
was the only one noticing that. This is the thickest Zelda that we've ever had.
Bro,
Oh,
that
listen.
ass
Oh
is
my
ridiculous,
God.
dog.
Listen, she's a
Talking
hundred
about
Turn it
Zelda?
on.
illegal.
I haven't
Zelda.
seen that
She got
scene
them
in the
thighs.
game.
Also, we need to have a conversation real quick. How the fuck has she gotten cuter over these fucking games? Like she went from being this like stoic bitch in like Twilight Princess
Mhm.
to like she's kind of cute and Skyward Sword to shit.
Well, listen,
She got more
when you
anime.
go-
I like
That's why.
He's like, this is
117.
like, hold on a minute. Hold
Yeah,
on a
I,
minute.
see,
dope
I gotta
picture
say, I
right
know this
there.
will be controversial, but I
Pick up some
definitely
flowers
preferred,
for me.
I preferred Skyward Sword Zelda way
Get
above this
out of
one.
here.
Really?
I really do.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about design or character wise?
Well, I mean, I guess
What about
kind of
the
both.
thickness wise?
Really
I like the
both.
character wise. I'm not
She
sure
was my
about-
favorite up until Breath of the Wild. That's for sure.
I mean, I love,
and then
I love
that
this
ass.
one. I love this one. What I've experienced so far, other than I know you guys are gonna roast me for this. I don't love the voice actress.
Oh,
What?
I didn't like
I think
me.
it's
Actually, a lot of people have said that. A lot of
I
people.
think it's
Okay,
fine.
that's good to know. Yeah, I don't like hate it. It's fine. I'm just like, okay, it's Zelda, so she's
It
great.
definitely sticks out a little bit.
People
Yeah.
It
cried
does.
about
She's
the lack of
British.
Japanese.
Why is
Yeah.
she British, dude? It's so
Because
weird.
you know what? She's proper.
Oh, God
Well, let me
damn it.
tell you.
She should be
But-
British. I don't mind that.
I still
Yeah, I
love
think
like in
British is
Skyward
fine.
Sword, like we didn't have a voice actress for her, but there's so much more like personality and a connection to Link in that, and it was less about her connection to the story, more about her connection to Link. And in this one, she's a huge part of everything going on, but she is actually, at least in the 6 or so memories I've seen, she is stoic, she is serious, she is tired and worn out and emotional. She's not
That
a
is so
fun
good.
character.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
it's not bad, but
that's the game though. That's the world we live in.
Yeah,
we live
No,
in
no,
a
she's still fun though.
Exactly.
You'll
We
see
fucking
there's
died,
some
man. We
more
died.
scenes.
For
yeah, this is a
100 years.
post-apocalyptic world.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm not
I will say,
disagreeing, but
though-
I'm
I'm
just saying
bleeding,
that-
man.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that
I hear what you're
choice
saying.
makes me prefer the Skyward Sword. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well,
And I don't
yeah.
want to. I'm not going to spoil anything. There's at least one memory where she's definitely a little more. She's fun. And
Yeah,
Sweet,
yeah.
that's
There's
good
a
to
few. There's a few that I've seen where it's like her and Link are having fun. You know.
I mean,
would-
what I'll tell
Where
you,
do you find this fun, Robert?
here's what I do like about her is because she seems so involved in the whole plight and everything going on, and she's guiding Link, and she was so instrumental 100 years ago. What I'm hoping and expecting to see, Robert, you would be the only one who knows the
and
answer
don't
to
confirm or deny this.
Yeah.
do
don't
not
do that.
confirm it, but I'm hoping she becomes really instrumental in a lot of the finality of the story in a way that makes her badass, like the Wind Waker Zelda and like Twilight Princess Zelda. And that is something that Skyward Sword Zelda never could have really done.
Don't say anything on that. I'll
Okay.
kill you.
Yeah, don't
So,
even.
yeah,
No,
don't-
I'm not saying.
Jesus
I'm just saying that she's thick, but
She's got some thighs.
It's like she ain't fat. She's just a little thick.
she's fast all over.
But anyway, we were talking.
We need
Just
more fan art, damn it.
Summarize. I've seen the is it Rita? God, why can't I?
Ruta.
The Ruto.
Well, there's Ruta, but Ruto it is, right? It's
The Rito. You're talking
No,
about
Rita.
Rita.
We're talking about
Rito?
Rito then.
Bird people.
Rita. Isn't it Rita?
Rito, I thought.
Can we stop?
Rito
Oh my
Village.
God.
Is it Rito with the O?
No, it's
Tomato,
Rito.
tomato.
No, it's
Please.
with an L.
Rito.
Yeah. Okay.
Potato,
Right?
potato.
I just I've met them and the Zoras. I haven't met, and I've seen some Gorons. That's it. I haven't been to the
Oh,
south.
Goron's a chill as fuck, dude. I'm always gonna say.
I've just seen a couple of the guy,
They're
the guy
awesome.
at the shops. That's at some.
I mean,
of the
I've met.
places.
I don't
One
know.
that's always a
I mean,
main.
I've met some Gorons, and I've met the. I don't know I don't want to spoil who the other people are, but It's pretty
Gerudo
obvious.
chicks.
Yeah, the Gerudo. I'm in the Gerudo area.
That's not a spoiler.
I've
I mean,
seen
I've
In the trailer.
we've all seen.
Yeah, it's true.
I've seen
One of the
people seen the
champions is a
outfit yet.
Gerudo, so
Yeah.
Urbosa is a Gerudo. So
Rihanna, the Rihanna look.
Rihanna.
What?
She look like Rihanna?
What?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I found a picture of Rihanna that looks just like her.
But I mean,
What?
Urbosa's nose is huge.
It's,
Well,
Other than that.
yeah, other than that, the eyes, everything, shape of the
Okay.
face. But anyway, I just think from what I'm seeing, the Rito and the Zoras are just, the character designs are awesome. The uniqueness, the different
They're all
bird
great,
species,
man. They're all
like
great.
Cass or Cass, however you want to say his name,
Cass.
playing the accordion. Like
Love it.
he's awesome. He's probably one of my favorite character designs. in
You
the
guys
game.
sing what he says.
There's a love letter. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to say there's a beautiful love letter to one of the handheld Zeldas. I
is there?
don't know if you guys know anything about what
I'm
I'm
not
talking
sure what
about.
you're talking about. So
I don't think I know
Okay.
what you're talking about.
it's not like
There's just
Would
so
it be
much
a-
stuff in this game.
I really
you're
want to
not,
know
you're
what's
not talking
what.
about like some like Spirit Tracks, are you?
No, earlier. And
It's
it
It's got to
is
be like
songs?
one of Oracle's or Minish Cap. It's got to be one of those. Or Link's
I
Awakening.
know it's probably Link's Awakening.
It's,
But are you talking about
I'll give
one
you
of the
that. It's
songs?
Link's Awakening.
Okay, it's Link's Awakening.
I'm not sure what you're talking about specifically, but I kind of could guess that was the game you're talking about. But so yeah, let's just go right in. Final, like, anybody have anything cool happen? Obviously don't spoil anything, but like last week, kind of was sharing some stories, whether it's like super awesome or not. Like, I'll start with mine. It was I was in the north, or kind of in the west area, and I was like, I'm gonna go north finally and go north of the Hyrule Castle and stuff. And I'd heard rumors, or somebody I was talking to in the game, an NPC was talking about the Lost Woods being somewhere above Hyrule Castle. So I'm like, all right, I'll finally go there. So I'm heading up, and I got my awesome horse Ganon, who's got like this red mane and this. He looks just like Ganon. I don't know if it had to have been intentional. I don't know if anybody saw. I'll do a close up of his face.
You've been posting pictures.
He looks just like Ganon, like when you're picking your horse out of the stable. He just looks like, it's funny. I mean, it had to have been intentional. It could have been random. It'd be incredible if it was random, because I don't know if they all look the same. It's the big horse, and I'm not sure if they all look the same or not.
Yeah, I've seen
But
it.
anyway,
I can see just riding up into the
I haven't seen
Ganon
any
castle,
big
like, hey
ones.
dog, I stole your horse.
he looks like
Yetch.
should be Ganon's horse. So I'm like, I'm north, and I'm heading over east, and I'm just exploring. There's no path. I don't have the tower. I'm looking for the tower, and I'm climbing this. It's more of a mountain, but it has enough of a. It's not steep, so my horse can go up it. It's slow. It can't run up it. And I'm going up, up, and up, and up, and I finally get to the top, and I look down, and it's like this view of this area that's shrouded in fog, and it was just like totally unexpected. There's a big old body of water, and it was just like, I was like, damn, like I was not expecting that. And it's just, then I seen where the tower was, and I knew I kind of had to go a different direction, and it was just like probably a half hour, and I'm just didn't want to leave that area. It was just so breathtaking. Sunset, I took a shot from there and posted it, and it was just like the way the landscape completely changed. There was like different types of trees I've ever seen before. Then there was pine trees, and then when I actually got to the tower, it was really cool. There was like, I don't want to give anything away, but there was some really cool and inventive stuff there, and a little bit of a challenge, more than I've seen before. And it was just like, it's just every time I play that game, it's an adventure, and it's something I completely didn't expect. And I started off with maybe an idea, and then something else completely happened, and it was just like, man, it surprises me every single time I've played it so far. And that's gonna suck when that's gone, when I've seen pretty much everything, and that no longer exists. So, not a great story, but just something that stuck out to me since the last podcast. So I don't know if anybody else has anything.
Well,
For me, it was
go ahead.
All right. Well, I kind of said it already. The Link's Awakening thing that happens. Like, no Zelda game is off limits. It feels like, because with that going on, and then like my son recently, like I said, he's at Ganon and Ocarina of Time, and he's been playing Twilight Princess as well. So when I'm going through like Yeah, when I'm going through like the plateau, he's like, "Oh, is this like this is where the old castle from Twilight Princess was?" And I'm like, I'm saying, yeah, that's where, I don't think any of that been confirmed, but it definitely feels that way. Like the plateau is Twilight Princess's castle town with where the castle was, and it feels almost like Ocarina of Time too, because if you go down that path and if you're going around through Castletown and Ocarina of Time, and you go around the corner and you have that arch, where the guard is standing by the gate, and you can kind of see that in Breath of the Wild as well, in that little area where all the bokoblins are and stuff. That feels like that's the old castle field or whatever before you sneak into the castle. And so that's all been destroyed, obviously. And so I guess that's kind of my moment where it's like pulling on those heartstrings.
Yeah, it does seem like every game's kind of in.
It feels like every
in this game.
Zelda game is in this game.
There's been a lot of representations.
Well, if you notice, there's actual songs that are redone. And I didn't even notice like there were some like the Rito Village has like what's it called? One of the Wind Wakers. I don't want to spoil it.
There are some Wind Waker themes.
And the Stables is the Epona song.
The saddest thing to me though is what happened to the poor kids of the forest, the Kokiri. Like that's not what you want to evolve into. If you were a little fairy boy who lived forever, you want to turn into a tree kid. Popped out and made little squeaky noises.
That's the next Zelda, Legend of Zelda and the
Like I feel so bad for the Kokiri kids. It's just like that's what happened to y'all, man. That's not cool.
They all seem pretty happy, to be fair.
They're happy as hell, but it's just like,
good spirits.
where your face at, man?
But half your face is on the other side of your face.
Hashtag where your face.
I'm looking at. It's funny when you said that. I was looking at one of the thumbnail or one of the screenshots was damn Korok's, and yeah, you're right. It's not the best design in the game.
No,
I love them, man. I think
they're fun.
They were like that in Wind Waker too, right?
Yeah, that's part of it. Is I love them because they remind me of the Wind Waker, the greatest game ever, and so that.
I like the Korok designs. I think they're super damn.
Yeah,
cool,
they're really.
Well, I like the Kokiris a little bit more Peter Panish, maybe feel like that. And
let me ask you, T, or maybe Juice. You remember? I even talked about this on my video. I talked about Zelda and Ocarina of Time. Who was the Kokiri kid that won't let you out until you have the weapon, or he won't let you out of.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that in your video, right? You were talking about. I just watched the video today.
What's his name?
Wasn't Thomas? Was it? No,
I can't remember what his name was.
I think it was like a regular person's name, though.
Little freckle face kid, right?
Like Steven or something.
His hair was hanging over.
Yeah, he's the emo kid.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I was curious if you guys would remember since you played it back when it was brand new, like I did.
Yeah, it's been a while. I will say too, like I had a better an epic, awesome story, but it was very spoiler filled.
Yeah, don't do that. Definitely don't do that.
I will say I did have one pretty major thing is after the podcast on Monday, I did beat the game. That's pretty major.
I mean, that's pretty huge.
And it's pretty awesome.
Here's your golf clap.
I'll say this. It's awesome.
Was it satisfying, the ending, when you finished it?
It's very, I mean, the final fight's super epic, and you'll love it.
Well, let me ask you this, Robert. I want to know what other Zelda games you've beaten, and then how this one compares to those.
As far as difficulty,
maybe just like as far
I thought Wind Waker was very. I will say I thought Wind Waker was very epic. Where it's
super
most epic.
Spoilers for Wind Waker, right? I feel like you can.
Yeah, that's all right.
Stab, Ganon's face
right in the head. Yeah,
I mean that's pretty epic. Man. That's pretty epic.
Yeah.
And so it's tough because it's not more about the cutscenes, but the fight itself, I think, is the most epic.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to hear because so far the two bosses I fought were definitely not a challenge for me. So
no, okay. Well, here's the thing. That's the problem. Is that if you want more of a challenge, don't do all the dungeons.
Okay,
I've heard that. I've heard that the dungeons are kind of pushed over the bosses.
If you do the dungeons, you're gonna fight a lot less than you will if you didn't.
I'm still gonna do them, but
I want the dungeons, man.
I know, I get it, but I feel like you should attempt.
Well, you can go play it first, and then maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Is I feel you should attempt it.
Nah, not interested. I'm gonna do them all.
Yeah, I don't even want to see like.
Well, I will say that you're gonna see familiar faces if you went now.
Oh, really?
Now, yeah, it's not. Yeah, you're gonna see familiar faces, but then when you do it, it's way different because I was like, okay, I'm gonna die so many times, and then something else happened. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have to do any of those. Okay,
That's interesting.
I went to. This is not gonna be a spoiler. I went to the castle, obviously, Hyrule Castle, when where Ganon's doing his floaty round.
I got close, yeah.
And I know I went in. I was, they gave the epic final fight music. You got to see the cutscene.
Oh, really?
And and I will say that when I got there, it felt like being level 7 in Xenoblade Chronicles X and running into like some level 50 tyrant or something.
Dude, this game has areas like that, man.
It was just like, whoa, I'm not ready for this yet.
Yeah.
Let me get out of here.
One of my friends told me
I got pretty far in there, but I
try it. See, the way I'm treating Hyrule Castle right now is like I'm trying to keep it as the scariest, most mysterious, most keep the fuck away area of the game.
Yeah.
And like there was a period a couple of days ago, I don't remember why, I ended up journeying kind of through the field in front where there's a lot of guardians and there's like some of the charred grass and all that stuff. And I was like, whoa, I didn't realize I made it this close to the castle. It was a surprise. I didn't realize where it was. And I got scared in like an exciting way. And I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't be here. Like, and I didn't want to just warp away. So I tried to like travel through and like climb up on shit and avoid the guardians. And as I started to realize like I know what I was trying to do. There's a memory located near there I was going to.
The memory,
That's the first memory I got, and that's the one I was going to. And I was like,
you got it with no problem, huh?
Well, no, I died a lot. No,
I was gonna say, it looks like it's in a very
that was the most obvious
spot there.
Picture. Like I know that's got to be right in front.
Right.
And I did the same thing, but I kept getting killed, and I gave up, and I finally.
I had to come from underneath. That's the way to do it.
I will say that
coming from
I can take on the castle so easy now because I know a route that. I do a route that I'm telling you, there's you could take so many routes to get into the top.
Yeah, I've even talked to somebody who told me about a different entrance.
Yeah, it's cool. I love that you could take different routes and your own way into taking the same objective.
Let me ask this, Robert. And since T did it, would you recommend going to the castle now just to see like that cutscene that T just mentioned? Is it different when you go? After, like if I went after I,
you're telling me the cutscene when you first go to
that's nothing. That's
nothing. It's literally.
Okay.
I think it's in the trailer actually.
It may be.
Well, let me ask you guys this then: if the first time you saw it was when you went to the castle just to try to fight Ganon at the end of the game, would it be better that way?
No, not really.
No,
it
wouldn't make a difference.
It doesn't affect.
Yeah. It makes zero difference.
Okay, because I got to the base of one of those pillars.
There's no story elements in it.
I just don't even want to get that close, man. I
got that close.
Let me tell you, I did it, and I'm still scared of Hyrule Castle. it still scares me, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
And I got that close, trying to find that damn memory spot. That was early. I probably only had 5 hearts, maybe, and I snuck around, and I couldn't even kill the guardians that were stuck in one place.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It wasn't till a couple days later I tried the perfect guard technique, and I perfected that. I have to be the exact distance every time for the timing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
I haven't even tried that yet.
Once I pulled that off, then it was like the guardians became less frightening. But then I went to the northeast, and I got some stuff. And plus, you guys have all battled the scouts in the shrines.
The what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Guardian Scouts.
Oh yeah.
I've maybe I don't know if this would be a spoiler, but I just think those weapons seem to work better. There's no fact to it. There's no proof. Even
they're pretty great weapons though. I have quite a few of them.
Even the lower damage, like the spear has like was it 10 or 15?
It's like 12 or 15.
I feel like that the Guardians react more to that than even like a level 30, 40 regular weapon. That's just there's no proof to that. It just kind of seemed like that to me. But anyway, just a little tip. Maybe it's true, maybe it isn't, but it feels like it was more effective.
I did want to mention one thing that happened to me last night. I don't know if you guys have run into those shrine quests where the trick is to get to the shrine or to make the shrine appear. Uh-huh. And I did people may not know about it, so I'll just describe it as the lightning shrine. I'm not gonna go into the description, but I will say you get a pretty cool resistance after you finish it, and it makes I don't want to spoil it.
That's where I'm at right now.
Leave it at that. I don't know what you're talking about. So
yeah, I
find it.
Actually, I don't want to reference it, but it is.
I think I know.
You might know. It depends.
But yeah, there's been ones where I had to do just a really fairly long sequence of different things, and then I'm like, now that opened a shrine. Wow, what a reward! And then the shrine was a treasure chest, and like there was nothing else to it. It's like you've already earned your way.
Yeah, that happened. I've got it about like 8 times.
Was the treasure chest
I haven't had that at all.
Good or no?
In that one, it was. I think it was climbing trousers.
See, I haven't found. That's the other thing. I haven't found any pants yet.
Really?
I've got a couple different.
I've only found like the shirt. I haven't found any.
I haven't found anything.
Well,
I've bought everything.
If you want to know, Terrell, like there's one of the villages. There's just a side quest, an item I already had or had already done, and it instantly gave me some trousers to match a shirt in that area.
Okay, because I've been looking. Because they were kept talking about sets, and I'm like, I don't have anything to do with set with.
I got
I was confused at that for a little bit.
Really? I haven't seen a lot of stuff that you guys talk about. Stuff in the sky. I've been looking for it. I haven't found any.
I found that damn white rabbit.
You haven't seen anything in the sky yet.
I haven't seen anything in the sky. I saw a rainbow.
I've seen part of it. I've seen.
There's multiple.
I found the weird white rabbit that hides in the forest, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
I don't even know what you're talking about. What white rabbit?
Don't worry about it.
The ones that run away from you.
Bloopy?
Is that what his name is?
What does he do to you?
Oh,
they give you. I think if you shoot, I saw.
You shoot him and give you rupees.
Yeah, you shoot him and you get paid.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to like
That's so
where
random.
It's hard to catch him though. I'll say that.
You gotta be a distance away.
Oh, you have to catch him or something.
Well, it's not like you have to catch him, but I say that in the.
You know how I get food though? Every time, you know how they always have a pack of wolves?
Mm-hmm.
Every time they just start running at me, they go, oof, and I just kill them.
You know what's funny? Like I was sneaking up on something.
I love cooking, man.
It was actually a shrine quest where I had to follow somebody. And the wolf comes out of nowhere and he's about to start howling. And I normally don't shoot the animals. I quickly just pulled out the bow, shot his head.
You're like, get the hell out of here.
I don't know if it would have affected, the mission, but I thought that was.
I think your Tomb Raider sensibilities kicked in there a little bit.
Sometimes I charge you, but I was like, I've already tried this twice, and he's seen me twice, and I had to redo it. I'm not doing it again. Whoosh, shot his ass. And, that was fun. I mean,
although I don't cook. I still haven't really cooked any. I don't
really.
I don't
You're
think
missing out on a really fun mechanic of the game.
But
I'm about to say there's so much shit you can do with that.
You've missed a lot. I mean, you've not experienced a lot of stuff that I've experienced, and I mean, maybe 3-4 what I would consider pretty major things.
Like what? What do you do? What's so important about cooking when you got like?
It kind
just
of allows
the joy
you
of actually mixing
ahead.
ingredients and like, wow, this one.
It definitely keeps you. Yeah, it keeps you like organically connected.
It doesn't like I'm nothing major about cooking. It's like I just cook. Cool.
Well, sometimes you get the right mixture and you get an even more grander music, and you did something right.
Yeah, you get incredible meals. Like, I mean, stuff that do insane things for you. That's how I survived like some of the desert, because it's like shit. I need elixirs. Like,
well, now
I haven't even touched the desert yet.
However,
it's
I will
crazy,
say,
dude.
Think about it now that I have I have clothes that are helping the cold, helping the heat.
Yeah, but before you get those, like I've gotten that stuff too. But the first like probably 20 to 30 minutes I was in the desert, I needed to have stuff to help me. And so I kept cooking them, and it was really cool.
Well, I cooked
just me.
just
I mean,
a little bit, but at the same time, like I mean, I would. There was times where it was in the cold, and I would try to run as fast as I can, and I'm just losing hearts. I'm like, no, I'm not cooking. I can do this.
You know what fucked me up on that is when I realized that you could just use a torch and you didn't even have to cook for that.
Oh yeah, the torch. That's the first thing.
I didn't even fucking know that. I thought you had to use the spicy stuff.
Nah, man, that's just fire. You just use fire. They had that in the E3
cold though.
That's crazy.
I will say, to me, the coolest part about cooking, I'm sorry, we can end after this, it's the fact that it's like, it reminds you that you live in a world where you can do anything you need to. And it's like, oh, I need stuff, or I'm running low on this, but I have these resources. Let me put them together to give me the things that I need. Like it keeps you in that world in a really fun way. And that's
like,
one of the cool things about it.
I was like, I'm gonna mix these three. Looking at the effects, I should get like 10 plus hearts. No, it's 5 hearts. I'm like, what? And then I'll mix something
dubious
else.
food. I've made so much dubious.
Yes,
I had a dubious food where I thought
those.
for sure it was gonna be a good mixture, judging by something I would cook in real life. I was like, yeah, throw a mushroom in here. No, but I will say, what? It's not the Hylian wheat. What's the other wheat in the Rito village?
There's the rice.
There's a rice.
Is wheat.
There's 2 types of wheat, and there's one if you mix it with butter and the sugar cane and a fruit, and it makes a pie.
It's crazy that we're talking about a video game.
I know.
With this. It kills me.
But
It's
anyway,
like Cooking Mama.
I mean, we could talk about Zelda for hours and hours, and I want to get. I know we have, and I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I definitely want to get to bed early tonight. So I figured we'll just skip the final thoughts and stuff and just wrap this up because we're going on 2.5 hours. So good discussion. I can't wait to talk more next week, and look forward to more Zelda spoilers for anybody that
I'm pretty sure everyone's played a ton though, you know.
Yeah, it's like if you're listening to this and you're not playing Zelda, I mean,
what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So that's gonna be it for the Juices Loose podcast. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.